bread.
Yeah, buddy, we in the mix, man. What's good, baby? I got my guy Voch Lombardi, and I
Yo,
got my guy AKOYE. Go ahead and
What up?
bring it
What
in,
up? What
man.
up?
Tell them where you at, man. AKOYE, tell them where they can meet you at and all this good stuff, man. Talk to
Man,
me.
you guys already know. Once again, Law, I appreciate you having me on, man. And I like doing these collabs. Watch what up. Um, and you can find me on AKOYE Media on YouTube. Also, same tag on Twitter at AKOYE Media. And if you feel like watching and being bored, you can follow me on IG at I am underscore AKOYE as well. So I'm responsive. So you know, let me say something. I talk back. I debate all that.
Yes, indeed. So shoot, he gonna spit the fire. So you guys, he ain't gonna hold back. He ain't gonna bring back those punches. He gonna punch you. He
Nah, I
might
don't
hit
hold
you in
no
the mouth.
punches. We can
My
be on the
God.
spar too.
Yes, indeed. And then we got. I'm talking about the people's champ. I call him home skidder because he's from the same town, same heartbeat that I'm from. Man, go ahead and tell him, man, who you are. I don't have to say anything else.
boy, Killmonger threw Randy Gregory off the waterfall, but he back. He back. It's Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Koye, Law, what's cracking, lacking? Hold it down. Koye, what's that acronym that you go by, fam? What's
Oh man, I appreciate that. See, I'm a rookie to this branding game, man. But it stands for accumulated knowledge over years of existence or experience, depending on which one you want to use. But it started off one way, and now it's the other.
Damn, what'd he say? Player acquisition? What'd he say? Follow me on Twitter, y'all. VOCHLOMBARDI.
Director of player personnel.
Yeah.
I do film as well. Salute to y'all.
Yes, indeed, man. That guy, Okoye, he jumped out. This is rookie year, right? This is his rookie year. He coming out like
Boy, got the damn Dak numbers on rookie year. Cam Newton numbers on rookie year, boy. Salute to him. Happy for him.
Appreciate y'all, man.
He got a video on YouTube over 250,000 views, man. You can't get that just like sleeping on film, man.
Oh, sir.
Man, that was by accident, man. I can't recapture it, man. Not that I'm trying, but it just is what it is.
I don't care. I don't care, man. 250,000 views is 250,000 views. My God, man. But we're going to talk about some Cowboys football. We're going to talk about the expectations of the season. But let's just go ahead and talk about the guy you'll kick off the bridge for. You know what I mean? Voch Lombardi, man. What about this Randy Gregory guy, man? Tell me about him, man.
Charles Tapper got to go. I know he was sitting back. He was sitting back watching his phone, looking at his Bleacher Report app, and look, it's a sad business, man. And I don't want to see Charles Tapper go. I want to see him be healthy and get his fair shake, just like everybody else. But it comes down to the money, and it comes down to what we got invested in. So it's really going to be Tapper versus Coney Elam. Tapper sitting down saying ouch right now. So I think it's probably going to be him, man. So he going to be the one that we push off the bridge. He going to be the one that we, pillow smother. I mean, Taco's safe. I think Dorrance is pretty fairly somewhat quasi-safe. I think it come down to them too, man. Tapper. And I know Koye loves Tapper. Koye like Tapper. But
I like Tapper's first step, but I would never argue with you if you said Tapper has to go in place of a Randy Gregory. Like that's the lesser of two evils. I think. I mean, the upside versus a high floor. You know what I mean? Tapper is pretty good right now. I don't think he'll get a whole lot better. He might be a one-trick pony. You never know. But Rod Marinelli, if he decides to coach another year, might be able to work with him and develop him like he did D-Law. But right now, we know Randy Gregory definitely has multiple weapons in his arsenal. We're not like hoping to see it. We've seen it. So I'm more excited about having somebody like that. Like, think about this. I'm not cringing. I don't think defenses or offenses are cringing when they hear, Charles Tapper, David Irving, Collins, and Law. But if they hear Randy Gregory, David Irving, Collins, and Law as a starting lineup at some point this season, it's like, that's hell to pay, man. Like, Collins is that guy that can occupy, two people. He's shown last year that he will sacrifice himself to get other guys sacks. And then you have Irving, who's just nasty up the middle. He's crushing pockets every day. And you can't, scheme to D-Law if you have a Randy Gregory out there that's even 70% of what he should be.
Hey, let me ask y'all both a question. am I being disrespectful when I'm calling this team, this front four, a finesse? Am I being disrespectful? Am I discounting what Malik Collins can do? Am I telling you guys about Jahad Ward and I'm telling you about Brian Price or
Yeah.
Dayton Jones? Am I being
Go,
disrespectful?
you take that. You start that one off, but
Talk to me, man. Y'all take me off the ledge because that's the only time. I'm telling you, man. I don't really trust this front four. I like D Law. I like Randy Gregory, but I'm the only two.
I don't like your wording, man. Koye, this the problem is Law won one of them big fat 300-pound trash can full of dirt type of guys. He want what he says exactly like this. I want somebody for the opposition to fear. I want someone that takes up 2 blocks to let the Sean Lees of the world run free. That's what he say. But dog, when David Irving in his bag, he's that guy, and he does it at 2 whatever he is. You know what I'm saying?
290 or 2 whatever. But that, and you got to realize, like we had guys like Leroy Glover on this team before who was similar. You know, he's a strong guy.
Yeah.
You know, he just leveraged his way into success. But you know, I think we have disruptive players. So finesse, I would never call David Irving finesse.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't. He's a monster, a freak of nature. And then Collins is not a finesse guy either. I think we lack depth. I would say that though. But I wouldn't say we finessed though. So I will pull you off the ledge there, Law, with that. I say with the addition of a Randy Gregory, and then we don't know what Jahad Ward is going to do. I like Connie Ely. He's more of a finesse guy, you know, getting in the passing lanes, knocking balls down, strips, things like that. But he's a smart player too. So, you know, he reminds me of a guy who should be playing for the Patriots because of how cerebral he is with the game. So we got guys who can play in a bunch of different ways. So you never really know what you're getting. But one thing that you're not giving credit for is, you know, we all like Rob Marinelli, and we see what he's able to do with dudes like Benson Mayola, whatever his name is, Greg Selvies, you know, those types of guys. He took them and turned that, and we've never had this much talent, I don't think, in our defensive line ever since he's been here. So for him to be able to produce with the names that he's produced with, I think right now, even if you can call it what, you know, finesse, whatever you want to call that, but it's definitely more talented than ever before. We had names that sound like guys that just got out of you know, trucking school and got their CDL or something. You know what I mean? Or they work at a grocery store.
You know what? The 80% don't like Rob Marinelli for whatever reason. I scream on him every time. Let me add some more names to your list. Whatever happened to Jack Crawford? Right? Like Jack Crawford's great when he plays here. He go to Atlanta. Now what? Terrell McClain trying to find a job. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But when he's with us, though, we make it shake. Rob Marinelli, and I'm kind of glad that we drafted Van Der Esch early because we finally given him some athletes. We finally given him some top talent to play with. Because I've said this before. If you look at the last decade of first round picks, they've mostly been offensive guys. But it's Byron and there's Van Der Esch. You know what I mean? Those are the only first round guys that we really give Marinelli. Taco too, but Taco didn't even play. So let's give Marinelli some more tools to play with. I'm looking at the bench right now. Coney Ely, Dorrance Armstrong, Randy Gregory for now. Dayton Jones, Brian Price, Jahad Ward. That's a solid little to say that's the bench, you know what I'm saying? You know,
right.
So let me pull out my pad in my mind. So starting if you remove suspension out the board, right? So you will have D Law next to David Irving, next to Malik Collins, and you throw in your guy RG, Randy Gregory. That's how his first 4.
I think in week 5, I think it's going to be Tyrone Crawford. That's just me. But I think Tyrone Crawford and Randy's going to have to find his time. You know what I mean? They ain't going to let Randy just come in because seniority counts, man. We play ball, man. Seniority count for something. You know what I mean?
I'll agree with
state
you.
Insurance, baby.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he's going to start till week 5, but I think he's going to have to earn it based off of how well we're doing before that. You know what I mean? I agree with you.
Also, let me say this too. I think it was the Lions game the last time Randy played or whatever. Randy didn't start that game, but he played most of the snaps though. You know what I'm saying? So it might be a politics type of thing in that way. But Randy gonna get his numbers though because of the rotation.
Because of the rotations. So man, let me ask you this though. Hey, I forgot to say this. Shout out to EBSN O-line. Shout out to Phantom. Shout out to D Dallas Prospect, that's DDP page. Every legend was once a legend. And we also live on Big Game James and Silver and Blue Nation. Hey, AKOYE, are we live on your page too as well?
Yes, sir. You're live on AKOYE Media as well.
Okay, so who's the first person to jump into that chat box, man?
Let me jump up and say what up. That would be Chris Rayner. He said he actually shouted you out too. He said, "Law, what up?" And then you have Dwayne Brown shouted me out, and then it just keeps going down the line. But yeah, Chris Rayner and Dwayne Brown are the first two.
All right, and I got
Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys jumping on, man.
Yes, indeed, man. We appreciate y'all, man. That let us know as content providers that you guys are part of the notification squad. And I always love the notification squad. And a shout out to Showtime on my side and my guy Oak Cliff Hanger. You know what I mean? Right out of Oak Cliff, right down the street from me. And also we got Bandino, I think that's how you say your name, Bandito, or however you say your name. You third place, man. You down the line. You got to step it up next time, fam.
Hey, yo, way down there. You got a game changer on here too, and Sushi 817. That's my guy. Those two.
Alfredo Bandito.
And that's his name. Hey, Voch, man, tell them about the call that number, and also shout out to your All Stars too as well.
Yeah, I ain't even live stream because I already got three videos that I can't get y'all four. Right. Spoiling y'all. But the call-in number is 515-739-1285. It's gonna ask you for an access code 309104. It's on the screen. It's in my voice. Should be in the description somewhere. I'll copy and paste and put in the chat box. Call in and tell us what you think about Randy Gregory. Who you think getting cut? Who should we pillow smother to make room for Randy Gregory on the team? Let us know.
That Asher, I know he ain't gonna make this team. Ain't no way, Asher. I don't even know his first name. Asher. 70, number 79. I don't
Richard Ash?
Richard Ash, that's his name.
Yeah.
76. He wore number 76.
Man, that ain't right.
He's just a body, man.
Oh, buddy. So we got.
I like Jihad Ward behind Irving because they have a similar body type and explosiveness and athleticism. And then behind that, I like Crawford behind Collins, and that's it. Like that's your rotating 4D tackles. Anybody else get in there is because they wind it. That's what I like in the middle. Then you got Ely that you can throw in there if you feel like it. If you want to throw him in the middle, for spot work, but nothing permanent. And outside of that, whoever, Price, I know people are kind of high on him, but I like those four in the middle. I don't like Crawford outside anymore because I think you can keep Tapper and Crawford if you move Crawford inside. Yeah, I think he has more value inside anyway.
With Randy Gregory coming back on his team, do you just tell Crawford, hey, gain me by 10 pounds and we're going to keep you inside?
Yeah. He just lost 10 pounds, man. Come on.
Put them 10 pounds back on you, man.
No, I don't think it matters because you're not asking them to carry the game. You're asking them to play spot work. So if he's a rotational guy versus being the guy, I think that's better for him anyway. So I don't think it matters that he's in the middle. You know what I mean? I think at his weight right now, he can be disruptive enough. I think so. He has the strength for it, and he has the explosiveness for it. So I think he can be. I don't think he has to gain anything.
I think Taco may end up playing just a little bit of 3-tech too. I could be wrong there.
He got a lot of. He have enough strength to play inside Taco.
Well, that's all he has. Really, it seemed like
strength and length, and that's what David Irving pretty much kind of is. Long arms and strength and big hands. So I mean, Marinelli could do that as hey, David, you may not be here next year playing. You know what I'm saying? So
he had to gain like a good solid 15 pounds though, because he's like 266, 270. Walk around and then his mid-season weight gets up to like 280. So yeah, he could. He got the size for it.
Something I never doubt again is off season, man. I remember one day, man, DeMarcus Lawrence was actually skinny. Next thing you know, he swole as all outdoors, bro. So I'll never doubt putting on weight. We got 2 callers. Y'all ready to run this?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's shoot.
Let me fix my levels. Let me get my theme music. 281. Who this?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Jared from Beaumont.
Jared from Beaumont, Texas. What's cracking, lacking, fam? What you got for the show?
Yeah, man, I want to talk about a few things, man. First off, I think Charles Tapper gonna be the one that's gonna get cut.
Damn, AKOYE don't want to hear that. Damn.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. You put him and Randy. Randy
Never married the deals, man. Never married
a lot of games.
True. Randy Gregg and Charles Tap played by the same amount of games. Okay, cool. Sure. Keep going. Keep going.
And as far as another question I want to ask is, who do y'all consider y'all top 3 cornerbacks? Because man, I like Jordan Lewis, man. I just don't want him to be put to the back, for Brown or anything. I like Anthony Brown, but man, Jordan know how to play some ball.
I think that's it's a loaded question, and not intentionally though. And that's because you got to ask yourself, who's the top 3, but who's the best in the slot. Now, Jordan Lewis might be better outside, but he might not win outside as the starting 2 corners because of Chris Richard's need for having tall corners. So I think Awuzie and Byron are kind of solidified outside. And then you ask yourself, is Jordan better in the slot than Brown? And that's where Brown actually plays his best. That's where we kind of fell in love with Brown, in the slot. So he may actually be the better nickel corner on the team, whereas Jordan is better outside, which is why they pushed him to that 4th corner position. I think that's more so why they did it rather than him actually not being in the top 3. I think he's definitely talented-wise, top 2, top 3 on his team, hands down. But size and his ability to play inside might be what's holding him back right now.
I think Cheeto is the only lock at left, and I think Chris is gonna allow Jordan and Byron to fight this thing out. Now Byron probably gonna get the first shake because I know, man, and I don't want to see. I don't want to see Jordan on the bench, man. I hate to see.
Yeah,
because he's short.
I don't know.
He's short, but he's long, and he plays big. But I do think,
but he's sticky. He's sticky.
100%.
He's definitely sticky.
We gonna learn over the next 6 weeks or so. Like Jordan can't beat this man. Like he can't win the battle and Byron still start. I don't think that's the case. If that's the case,
I don't think that they're not gonna put Byron down. You hear it out of Chris Richard's mouth, man. He's been dying to work with a guy like Byron. I don't think Byron is the going on this team.
Bad coaching, and they need to fire Chris Richard like y'all want to fire Jason Garrett.
I mean, it's on the tape too, man. Like Byron, I mean, Jordan played ball last year, but I like Byron's tape better.
What say, Beaumont?
I say Byron. I feel like Byron gonna get his chance because he's a first-round pick, man. We're gonna have to find out at what position is he gonna be at if we gonna keep him or not. So it's a decision-making year for him, and I just think that he's gonna get all the opportunities, to get that, to have that starting role and to keep it.
At the end of the day, he can always take his punk ass back to free safety. Thanks for the call.
Yes, indeed, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Good call. Salute.
Good call. If y'all want to call in, 515-739-1285. Access code 309-104. Talk to Voch, AKOYE, and Law Nation. Nothing but the best.
Yes. You had somebody else so bad, or that was it?
We had somebody, but they kind of dropped out, so they may call back.
They kind of ran off. Call back. But man, let me say this though, Byron Jones can be aggressive, I think that when I saw him like playing against Jason Witten, he didn't back down because Jason Witten was the GOAT out there. So I'm thinking that if Byron Jones, you match him up face to face like that man type of defense against a smaller guy like a wide receiver, that guy might not get 5 yards off the line.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about the type of fights he's been in with tight ends. Like, I don't think there's a receiver out there outside of, the guys like Kenny Britt maybe and Larry Fitzgerald who have the strength to even jolt him off the line, and they can't even beat him. They just have enough to maybe deal with him. But he's used to getting punched in the mouth by tight ends, so I don't think it's a receiver out there that's going to manhandle him, man. We might have had the only one other than maybe Mike Evans in Dennis Bryant, who could body him.
Boy,
yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins smack you in the mouth.
Oh yeah, D-Hop was, but he's not even a big guy. He just play big, man. D-Hop is only like 210 pounds, but he punch you right in your face.
He just mad as hell. We got a call though. Let's see what we got here. We got 951. Who this?
Yo, AKOYE, why you chasing that clout, bro?
Wait, time out, man. We ain't gonna do this.
Let him talk, man.
Off the phone. What happened? Well, he already left, man. We even do that.
Oh, okay.
Your ass off. What's that? 9-5. I'm gonna block your ass.
Good day, sir.
That don't bother me, man. I find it funny for real. So let him
on
talk.
my show with that. I mean, it's law show. Come on, law show.
Yeah.
I accept all challenges, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let y'all fight next time. Go ahead, Law.
Well, to me personally, I saw Byron Jones playing inside against Randall Cobb. I think his rookie year or something like that. I think he played inside as the slot cornerback. I think that Byron Jones probably be better suited into the inside, and you just keep Jordan Lewis on the outside, and then you fight that battle between. If we get Earl Thomas, but you fight that battle between Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath.
Now, see, I would love to have Byron play nickel or whatever. Like as long as he ain't got to think much, as long as he can chase people, I like him there.
You can put him anywhere, like as long as you tell him he's playing press man. Or he's playing
just don't put him out in space, man.
No space.
Yeah, don't put him in space and don't tell him to try to figure anything out. Like I think Xavier Woods is the opposite of him. He's the guy like he's not as good at man, but if you just tell him to sit and read, he can read. So but Byron is he's a seek and destroy dude. Just say, hell, this year's assignment, run with him and let him use his athleticism.
We're gonna jump right back into the phones. Line blowing up. We got if this thing unmute 207. What's that? Who this?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
What's that? Who this?
I'm Dallas Cowboys talking off here in England.
Okay, cool. What you got for the show? What's your library voice?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but it appears that Dak and a couple of the receivers went out when they were training in Orlando. Went out today to Disney Hollywood Studios to get some chemistry with each other. So,
okay, listen, man. I need you to get a new phone or give it a little more space. Take it out your mouth, something like that. But call me back on the new phone, okay?
Pause.
Good day, sir.
I don't pause. I'm from Mississippi. Don't pause right here. He had the phone all the way in his mouth. Get the phone out. Call back, go, brother. Call back. We couldn't hear you. 804. Who this? 804. Turn your laptop down. Who this?
Oh my man, what's up with your boy Rodney, straight out of Richmond, Virginia? How y'all doing?
What up, Rod?
What up, Rod?
What's going on?
What you got for the show?
All right, so my thing with the I'm gonna go back to the secondary. So we got Byron Jones, and Chidobe on the outside. Now I know Chidobe only played 5 games last year, so it's not much. In my opinion, I'm not a big Chidobe fan. I understand, what he has to bring to the table, but I feel like
Rodney.
I understand what y'all saying. Jordan Lewis is better in the slot, and that he can win more battles in the slot. But I don't feel like we should give Chidobe that other starting position because of his shot.
Honestly, man, I think I think honestly the best guy in the slot on this team, he might not be the best overall. Well, he is the best overall cover guy, and that's the guy you down right now. That's Cheeto, man. Cheeto can play zone probably just as good as anybody on the team, if not better. And then he plays man good enough, and he's physical, and he's instinctual like a Woods. So he's a good mixture of almost everybody that we have. But I do agree that I don't like him outside, though. I like him actually the best in the slot, and that's because he adds. If we're in our nickel package, 40% of the game, 30% of the game or more, he has an extra body in the box who actually can play run support too, and he can blitz. He's the better blitzer out of all of them. So for that, I think for his versatility, he should be closer to the ball. I like him there. But so I agree with you saying that he shouldn't be outside, but I don't agree that he's not good. I think he's actually our best overall corner. Like Byron's better at man. Jordan's pretty good at man too, and then you have Woods that's instinctual, and then Heath that can only play deep zone. Seems like, so he's actually our most versatile DB.
This is what I'm going to say too. When I looked at Jordan Lewis film, and I'm going to have to pull this out. I try not to show everything, but to me, when I saw Jordan Lewis in the slot, it didn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty at all. I think that Jordan Lewis is more comfortable, believe it or not, even with his size, is playing the field side of the ball, is playing out there out in space. Far as outside, not in inside. Just to me, from what I saw. And when you guys gonna see that, if I'm gonna pull that film out, he didn't look good inside.
Yeah, I mean the one thing that you can say though, period. And I know people kind of said I was beating up on the rookies for that video, that Heath video. But in that video where we looked at the touchdowns given, one of the callers, I think Rodney, if he's still on, I think he said that he played 5 games. He reminded us of that, but he also gave up about 4 or 5 TDs in the same span of time. So his touchdown ratio is horrible right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't discredit him for it because he was a rookie. So you're gonna have those growing pains, but he for everything that make you laugh, make you cry, so to speak. So every good play that he made, it didn't go unpunished for sure. Because he definitely gave up some touchdowns too.
So we got a whole gang of callers, bro. So if you got one more point, make it fast, please.
I just want to say I appreciate Law Nation. I know the new guy from Mississippi. What's your name? I haven't heard of you before. This is my first time watching you guys.
Voch Lombardi. Voch Lombardi. VOCH.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Cool.
So, and I appreciate y'all and AKOYE.
AKOYE.
Likewise.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in.
Likewise, man. Appreciate you, Rodney.
Yes,
sir. For calling in.
Yes, sir. Thanks for calling to the nation, brother.
Good questions, man. Good questions.
Great call, man. Great call. I got a platinum call on the line for whatever reason. We're going to skip to him because we know platinum callers. Monroe Booker, who this?
Oh, what's going on? This Coy, man. Cowboy Coy. What's going on, man?
Why the hell I got you labeled as Monroe Booker? Who is that?
That's my first name. What's up, man?
Oh, okay. Well, okay, man. What's up? What's that
name?
My bad.
Ain't nothing going on, bro. I'm just enjoying y'all guys shooting the breeze, man, talking about our boys, man.
100%.
Hey,
likewise.
Question for you. Hey, look, what y'all think about Van Der Esch?
That's my dog.
Dog.
The dog. That was right on time, man.
Who getting choked over there, man? What the hell? What?
Go ahead, man.
He barking at somebody moving.
He barking at your ass. Go ahead. Go ahead, Monroe. Cooking somebody. Before you got somebody in the freezer.
I heard the noise, but I kept going.
He just fought through that shit.
I was like, I don't even want to know what's going on.
He said, that dog said, he said, what do you think about LVE?
Okay, my bad.
Go ahead.
My bad. Van Der Esch. Go ahead.
What y'all think about Leighton Van Der Esch, man? What is your
It'll be good.
I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do, man. He has the best linebacker in the league when healthy playing next to him. So we'll see. And it seems like whenever somebody's on the field with Sean Lee, they're always 2 steps quicker than what they normally are. So as long as Sean's around, pointing things out, hollering out counter when it's counter, hollering screen when it's screen. Leighton can fly. My only problem with him was disengaging off blocks, getting his hands on people.
Exactly.
Right.
So if Sean can keep him 2 steps ahead, he can run, he can cover, he can do all, he can tackle. I'm excited about that.
He's probably the most athletic linebacker in this draft, I would say personally. But like you said, he's a rookie, so he's gonna need help.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He got help though.
I mean, they're gonna keep if they get one big body in the middle. I think they already are good enough to keep bodies off of him because of our front 4. So I think he's going to be more of an asset to Chris Richard than he is, the front 7 anyway. Like as far as run support, I don't think that's why they went and got him. They got him because they said, okay, we can teach a guy that's 6'5", 260 to use his leverage and strength to disengage. Hopefully, you know what I mean. But you can't teach a guy to run like he runs, though, because he played 8-on-8 when he was coming up. So he's used to space and used to moving around.
Because they want Jalen running downfield. Go ahead.
What's your thoughts on that, man?
Look, I'm just going to do this right here. On the low end, you can say Bobby Carpenter. On the high end, you can say Rolando McClain. So he's in between. You got to pick out which way he's going to flow. I just don't know. He's already saying, like Voch Lombardi saying, he already saying laying down going out with his ankle. So I'm just waiting to see what training camp is going to go with and stuff like that. So I got a big reservation on LVE. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling.
I mean, I say
on the low end,
that,
on the low end, like I'm not calling him a Bobby Carpenter, and nor I'm not calling him a Rolando McClain. So what I'm saying is that I just have to wait and see.
I mean, if LVE gets put in a position that Jalen was in last year, where he has to be one of the main staples, that would be a good, test. So hopefully he doesn't have to go through that same gauntlet. But I think if he has Jalen and Sean Lee, and then you have Joe Thomas as well, who will be playing around him or with him, I think they'll kind of mask some of his deficiencies because he won't be asked to do everything when one of those guys are out there. So I think it just depends on our health and how healthy we can stay. That's what's going to determine how well his season goes, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm subscribed to all three of you guys' channel, man. Y'all provide.
We appreciate you, man.
Good work, and looking forward to the season, man. Take care.
Appreciate you, brother Monroe.
Oh, buddy, that was crazy, man.
Let me put my call glasses back on. Our line blowing up. Hold on, time out.
As a disclaimer, no dogs were hurt during this show.
Right.
Peter, shout out to Peter Nation.
He was barking at somebody at the door.
So I got a question before we move on to the next caller though. Mm-hmm. Say Byron does beat Jordan Lewis out for that right cornerback spot, and we don't see Jordan Lewis playing nickelback. I mean, do we just sit him, or do we do that rotation thing that we've been doing? Because we have been known to rotate defensive backs in the past. So
I'd argue honestly with the tenacity that Lewis has. I think he's our and don't quote me as if he's the same player, but he's our Earl Thomas on this defense. Boisterous and nasty, right? So I think you want his energy on the field, and I think honestly them putting him in that fourth spot, I think it's more of a challenge or a call to action by Chris Richard than it is a vote of confidence in Anthony Brown. I think he wants to see he saw something in Jordan that we saw, which is that he's feisty and he's competitive. So if you make him compete rather than tell him up front, hey, you got the spot, if you make him compete from the beginning of training camp on, I think you get a better product come the start of the season. So I don't even think that it's a question of who will be our starting three at some point in the season. It's definitely going to be those three guys. But I think this might be a, sort of a mental tactic on Richard's part to try to draw the best out of him. Because he even called him out kind of publicly saying, like, there's exceptions to every rule, sort of just acknowledging that, hey, he's not the size that I'd like. You know what I mean? He acknowledged it instead of saying, no, Earl Thomas was only 5'10", so that's, that doesn't even make any sense, right? He could have said that, but he didn't. He said, Jordan Lewis, who's 5'10", 5'11", about the same size as Earl Thomas, actually, maybe a couple pounds off. But, he says that he's a small guy and there's exceptions to every rule. So he kind of put that chip back on his shoulder because you can see in All or Nothing that he's definitely a guy that if you engage him, you bring a better play out of him.
Real fast, we're going to pause that topic. We got a very special call up here as I put my damn glass back on. Foots the King, what's cracking, man?
What up, Brody?
Hey. Oh, my good man.
Hey man, we doing this old round table thing, man. You know what I'm saying? The young go Randy Gregory free, nothing but the best player acquisition and Voch Lombardi up in here, man. What you got for the show, Foots?
Hey, I just wanted to call in, man. I was actually working on some content right now. I see all the goats been linked up on the boy. I'm like, hey, my good man.
Hey man,
what up, Foot?
What's up, Foot?
You got to do it for the culture sometime. What you think about this Randy Gregory move, bro?
I'm excited, man. Young man get a chance to really get back in the swing. And I was in and out of your guys' chat, but I think the most important thing for Gregory immediately would probably be situational work, right? So I don't think because and when you look at Gregory, he's not really stout against the run anyway. Right. So, to me, third down work, his first steps is crazy still, Voch. Remember them Nebraska days? Oh, my God. If we could get that,
I just happened
just 3 times a day, dog. I mean, 3 times a day.
I just happened to drop a film session with a little bit of Nebraska tape and some NFL tape. So y'all check that out. What you working on, Foots? What's this content you got? Sneak peek us real quick and tell us where we can find it at.
You guys know me, man. Cowboys Nation TV. I'm actually working on just some DB content, and it's crazy because I was listening, and I hear you guys talking about the DBs, and so I heard. So, Law, you not a fan of Lewis inside? I like Lewis inside. I think he could do some things inside.
Go and watch the Green Bay game, and you'll see where he got murked a little bit to the inside when they put him into the slot. And there was another game that I put a placeholder on. I can't put it. I can't recall it right now. I'm just gonna have to just pull out all of the clips that he played inside, and we just let the people see. I think that he's more of the field side corner. He plays better when he plays uptight. I think that when he plays off man coverage, he does get he does allow the opposition to catch over him. So I just don't like him in that aspect. But as far as playing uptight, up press on the line, he's everything you want. So to me personally, if you move Byron Jones to the inside, I think that when you look at Byron Jones' rookie year, he played a hell of a job playing against that slot.
Against Gronk, he did really good. See, to me,
I think they're still gonna do that with him regardless. They're gonna always put him on those tight ends anyway.
He got his hands full because look at the NFC East. The Eagles done by to sleep on, and the Raiders, not the Raiders, Redskins, and then don't sleep on the new kid from the Giants. Everybody talking noise about this new kid,
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I give you that because that's good work on your point because the Green Bay game, inside, outside, Lewis, Devontae Adams really had his way with Jordan Lewis. I guess that's just me. When I watched him at Michigan, you saw him do everything. It's just the size. The size is always going to be Jordan Lewis's downfall. He just can't help that he's 5'10". But I agree. But it's just crazy because I think he's the purest cover corner we have. Like as far as hips, fluidity, turn, run, I think he's the purest cover corner. But I gotta get where you at there. Hey, I just want to call in, man. Just tell y'all boys, man, keep doing great work, man. We all in the chat, and this is to everybody who's supporting Law, Voch, AKOYE, man. Keep supporting these dudes, man. We need y'all. This content, I've heard Law say it a lot, but this content not easy to make. Hours, a lot of mess ups. You know what I mean? And so I'm just a fan of them. Voch did something real cool. He supported my channel, and I'm gonna pour back into this man financially. So I just want to call in and tell y'all boys, man, keep doing that. AKOYE, you do amazing work. Videos funny as Law, cleanest videos in the world, and Voch can name you any college player from here to Timbuktu, baby. I'm off the line, man.
Hey, Foots, before you run though, we got to figure out a date that we can get together and we can do this 53-man roster. Me and Voch took it down the other day, but we supposed to have the full troop. So we got to figure out what date we can do the whole 53-man roster and the 46-man, and maybe we can throw in the 10 practice squad guys. We got to figure out what time we can all get together, do a mega round table.
Let me ask you this. Do you want to do it before or after camp?
Both.
Woo. Volume 1, Volume 2.
All right, let's do that. They go on the 25th. Do you want? I think that's a Wednesday. Do you want to hit it early that week and let people react, and then we'll do one right before maybe the last training? My dates be jacked up as far as when they gotta actually do. When they got to turn in their 53.
We'll figure it out. We'll, do all the Googles and stuff. But hey, y'all, follow Cowboy Nation TV, man, because he's going to Oxnard, and I know he's going to have some good ass content on his channel, man. Go check your boy Pussy King out. Take it easy, bro.
Hey, appreciate y'all boys, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, Foots.
That's my teammate right there, dog. Yeah. We got a whole slew of calls, like 8 of them motherfuckers. So if I rush y'all off the phone, like don't hate me, y'all. So 254 quickly. Who this
for the people?
Hey,
254.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? This is Working Class Cowboys, man, coming at you from the heart of Big D, man, right here in Dallas.
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's cracking like? What you got for the show?
Big D.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Hey, Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Look, I got some comments and I got a quick question for y'all. All right.
Okay.
Sure.
First off, man, y'all do good work. You know, we'll get that love fest stuff out of the way. I'm sending y'all a hug through the damn phone. Good job and all your work. AKOYE, man, I love your videos. Law, man, I watch you every day. Voch, man, you know I've been watching you for a while now, boss.
Salute.
Anywho, back to the comments here. All right. First off, man, that caller a few calls back, man, was talking about Chidobe Weezy can't play outside. That dude needs to quit drinking Robitussin.
Damn. Damn.
You know
Keep talking. Damn.
He needs to get off the damn drugs or whatever it is he's doing, man, because he's out his damn mind.
Ooh,
right, that's all I wanted to say about the second of all.
Yoga Flame.
Hey, somebody, I don't know why, man. Nobody's really talking about it, but in my opinion, and maybe AKOYE or maybe you, Voch, can chime in on this, man. But I think LBE, man, if he reaches his full potential, is going to turn into like another Brian Urlacher, man.
Who?
I think
Brian Urlacher.
And see, look, this my whole thing about it, man. These comparisons come from different eras because I think Van Der Esch is more athletic than Brian Urlacher. Brian just had a better nose for the ball. He was a little more physical. But so if he can get on that level from the shoulders up with better athleticism, his ceiling is really, you know what I'm saying,
really high. Yeah.
Higher than that. He just got to work on the physical side.
Yeah, it's a matter of the neck injury, man. Yeah, if his neck injury isn't what we hope it's not, which is severe, and I don't think it is. I don't think they would have took a chance on such a crazy injury. So if his neck injury isn't that bad, it was like more like a stinger or just a precautionary type thing. Then you can like I said, you can teach a guy that's 6'5", 260 how to use his body in spot work, and you're not asking him to be like the anchor of the defense. You know, you still have Sean Lee right now, and Jalen is definitely a hammer. And if he's healthy, even when he's not healthy, he's a hammer. So if he feels like he's back to 100%, I'm excited to see what type of product he puts on the field, because we forget how much he flashed and how exposed he was last year for the fact that he had to play a lot without Hitchens and Sean Lee. I think all three of those guys didn't get on the field until week 13 against the Giants, I don't think.
Yeah. And just by traits alone, he's better than Hitchens. You can say that he's better than the Wilson. He's better than the other guy that we got rid of. So by traits alone, we can say that. You know,
Hitchens can't do what he can do. Yeah.
Another comment. Hey, look, I think a lot of people are sleeping, and y'all might think I'm crazy for saying this, man. But looking at the tape and watching this kid, man, I think Anthony Brown might be able to play in the slot, son, man.
I mean, he is good in the slot.
If
we agree there.
If he just catches damn interceptions, man, we'll be all right.
If he caught, 4 more of the 6 that he touched or 7 that he touched, something like that, right. Yeah, we wouldn't be talking about who's the starting 3 corners. We would say, all right, we know Anthony Brown's definitely number 1. Who's next? So he definitely has potential to be the best on this team. But if you don't take advantage of your opportunities, you definitely ain't lucky. So it ain't gonna happen. So I don't really know if he can get out of his own way. Then you might not be wrong. I wouldn't make a strong argument against you. I wouldn't.
Yeah. All right, real quick question for y'all, man. I'll let y'all get the next caller. Hey, what? And this is more pointed towards AKOYE and Voch, man. What y'all think about Jihad Ward, man? You think he's gonna be something?
I think he already is. Go ahead, Voch. You can start that one off if you want, or I can. No matter.
Oakland had that man 2-gapping at defensive end. That ain't what he good at, man. That ain't what he good at. He's only gonna be responsible for 1 gap. He gets to play upfield. He ain't got no extra responsibility. And I think as long as he can be quick and relentless, then he'll be fine.
Right.
They were
trying to turn him into the guy Tuitt from Pittsburgh or a Justin Tuck type guy. And he's not. I think he's like Voch said, he's a guy that just wants to penetrate upfield, wreak havoc, and use his length. And he really, honestly, with just his measurables, because he hasn't put much tape on film. I mean, much play on film. I think his measurables, he's a lot like Irvin, like a guy who we didn't really know a lot about when we first got him. He looked good. He had the size and the explosiveness, but we just need to see what Rob Marinelli can do with it. But I think I have more faith in Marinelli than I do Jihad Ward. So Jihad Ward anywhere else, who knows? I would say, he's more like he has a 60% chance of playing well. But Jihad Ward under a Marinelli, whatever he can do well, we will have him doing it. So I'm excited to see that. I don't think he has a bad season at all. Crawford had 4 or 5 sacks last year, I think. And Crawford, no one screams Crawford's like one of the better, pass rushers on our team. We don't think that, but we still got him 5 sacks. And we had Benson Mayowa who was killing. And then you had, like I said, Selvey. So these guys, come here and play under Marinelli, and I don't think they're half as talented as Ward. I don't think a Selvey is as talented as Ward. So Ward can play outside, inside, and anywhere on the line with his size. So yeah, I don't think he's as talented. And
Appreciate
so I think
it.
we can do more with him.
All right, man. Hey, look, I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you having me on. Let's go Cowboys. I think we're going to wreck this fucking league this year. All right.
Let's kill it.
About my boys, I think we're going to shock a lot of fools, so let's go. All right, thanks, and I'm out.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Yes, indeed.
So, all right, y'all, we got 13 people on the phone line, so we're going to have to
bring them.
We may have to run through the 207. Who this? All right, bye. I'm playing. What up, 207?
Hey,
Who yeah, we got you. Who this? Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm Dallas Cowboys Talk up here in New England.
What's that in New England, Dallas Cowboys? What you got for the show?
Well, I heard earlier today that Dak and all the new wide receivers that came to Dallas this offseason went out and had fun and went to Disney in Orlando. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. I think it's great, building chemistry with the new guys. And I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
All right, thanks for the call. Yeah. It's always dope to build, continuity within the team, man. But this the problem though. Hearns was there, Gallup was there. All right, cool. But Lance Lenore, he got to fight for his spot. So even though he building that continuity, you still gotta run and catch, homeboy. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm just looking for preseason to see what our wide receiver core can do. I don't really know. I don't know. It depends on how Dak comes back and then how well they all work together. And I think we talk about guys who might not even really be seeing the field as much because we don't really talk about Hearns as much as we talk about the Wilsons and the Gallups and what they might be able to do. But remember, we had Noah Brown, and we still have him, but we barely used him as a rookie last year. So it depends on how. And then we had the other kid that we just sent over to the Raiders. I forget his name that fast. Yeah, Switzer.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't really been showing like we had a good track record for using specific talent on our team. So to say what any of those guys can do, like even Lance Lenore, I watch him with that guy that the wide receiver guru that you put us on, David Robinson. I watch him with him, and he's talented. Lenore is, but he hasn't seen the field either. So it's like we don't really take new talent and develop it here. So I think we're going to be looking at Hearns, Beasley, Austin, and depending on what we do with Williams, and then you have Deontay Thompson. Those are going to be our guys, I think.
Let's jump right back into these phones. There's plenty of them. 602, who this?
It's Orlando.
How
what y'all doing today?
Scandrick, what's up, babe?
Doski Woski, what you got for the show?
Yeah, man. So I got a quick question, man. It's a little scenario now. Let this play out. I mean, I ain't gonna get too in depth with it, but
my man,
I just gotta say. So let's say we trade Byron Jones, which I'm not a big fan of. I love Byron Jones. I'm just saying I'm not a big fan of this trade if it were to happen. Let's say we trade him to Seattle with the conditional, 5th round pick or something, right? We get Earl Thomas.
No.
Who's gonna play who do you guys think will play the slot? I mean, I know you guys are saying Anthony Brown already, but do you guys think Xavier Woods did a good job last year in the slot?
Man, it's not gonna happen, man. But
yeah, but X did do well in the slot, though. I can answer that part. But yeah, you're right, Voch. I don't think that's happening.
Patience is the key with this because. For sure, I like to say like a spider casts his web and let his prey come to him or let his food come to him, because this is the thing. If you go out there and you make that type of rash decision to go out there and trade for Earl Thomas, who we know for sure want to play for the Cowboys next year, just sit back and wait. I think that, like you said, I think it was you, Voch, it was a big game, James. Somebody just said, hey, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I really love the way this team is already set up already. Yeah. It's just that Earl Thomas would be like a cherry on top of the ice cream.
Yeah, and you got to think. You got to think about the fact that you even asked that question.
What it already is.
You know what I'm saying? The fact that you even asked that question means something.
Thank you guys, man. You guys are great, man. I love when y'all do this, man. This is awesome for everybody, the fans, everything, especially this time of year where tele's slow. Yeah. Ain't much going on.
Shout out to Derek Egerton, man. Somebody copy this to Derek Egerton, man.
Yeah. Let them know, like, you ain't gotta train us once we, you know what I'm saying, once we get to work. We already know what to do. Just show me how the phones work. We can kill this thing. Thanks for the call, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
I know you guys take it easy. I'll tap in with y'all. Take it easy.
Hi, New England. Let's see what else we got, boy.
Shout out time, man. Shout out to J Farm, Streaming Willie Beeman, and also from my Facebook page, Bobby McClain, Shabazz too as well. Thank y'all for tuning in to the nation. Nathan Reds and Jonathan D. Will and my guy, Italian Cowboys, and hey, Miss Jackie too. I know you was in there earlier, so shout out to you guys.
I see somebody. I see somebody blocking their number. What you think this is, dog? We gonna skip away from your 956. Who this?
Yeah, man. First off, man, I had a
who this? Who this?
It's Richard from coming at you from Seattle.
What's happening, Richard? What you got for the show? The intro is very important, man. It's very, very important. We good. What you got, Rich?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I hear y'all talking a lot about these corners, you know what I'm saying? Talking about Van Der Esch. But I feel like y'all kind of neglecting the fact that we still got probably the best player on our defense this year in Jalen Smith.
He better than Sean Lee?
Oh, I think
D-Law?
Any other linebacker we got on the team.
He better than Marcus Lawrence?
I mean, you talking upside. Upside, you might be right. I'm talking about this year, though.
Oh, yeah, upside, sure. I mean, in 3 years, yeah, but
no, not this year.
Look at that tape, man. He look unstoppable, man.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even think this is gonna be Jalen's best year. I think next year we gonna get the best of the best Jalen Smith, and that's gonna be nasty, ridiculous. He gonna put us in a very bad spot as far as who we gonna pay and who we gonna push off a bridge. So I'm excited about Jalen Smith.
Part, you know
I'm excited about him. What else you got for the show? Quickly, because we got 15 people online.
Yeah. So what y'all think about the fit of Connor Williams in the O-line?
Oh, what you that's a damn infinity gauntlet, man. That's that damn. That's that. What you mean? It fits like a glove. Honestly, we needed upgrade at left guard. We got it. You know, we don't just have big mollies. Like our linemen can move. We got 5 guys that can move, 5 guys that can push, and 5 guys that are pretty nasty. I love it. I love it. Then Zeke nasty too. And look, man, people talking about this whole is Saquon better than Zeke already. Let me tell you what Saquon can't do. Saquon ain't gonna pound nobody for 3 quarters and impose his will in the 4th. That's what he's not gonna do. So you do that plus this offensive line work. Come on, dog. It's gonna be nasty for team. The Cowboys definitely gonna be a much better team in the second half than the first half, because people are gonna be tired of getting hit.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Zeke a bully. He fits our offense perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's a bully. Not saying Saquon won't play well behind his line, but
Saquon will be great. But it's different. His levels here. That's all you got for the show, right?
Oh yeah, man. I just want to, before I get off of here, I just want to say thank y'all for everything y'all do, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey man,
appreciate all that, man.
Greatly appreciate it, man. Salute to you, man. We do this for y'all, man. If it was just for us, man, we'd have talked on the phone for 20 minutes and wrapped this thing up.
Right. This would have got old a long time ago. Man.
Right. Shout out to Marco too as well, man. That's in the Facebook page. Rodrigo, he says this ain't no Cowboys talk. I think he's just trolling. And then XL Police, extra large, I guess, Police, and J Form again, and Killing Them Softly, and Vanilla Mamba, not Black Mamba, but the Vanilla Mamba. Shout out to you.
That means he's white. I was on my live stream earlier. I was on my live stream earlier talking about law, and I'm gonna say it to your face. I was streaming about 6 o'clock, 7. I said, all right, y'all, I'm about to wrap this up. It's about to be 8 o'clock, and I got a show with law, so he gonna hold me till like 11 at night. So I need to get an hour rest in before I call this show.
Right.
Yes, indeed, boy. We long over here, boy.
What we do
every time.
That's what we do, man. You know, and look, and it's not by design. Law hold me for 2 hours, but we just get to rolling and we just forget to look at the clock, man. It's 10:30. It just runs that way.
I still got my bow tie over here, man.
yeah. But let's get back into these calls, though. It's plenty of them. 407, who this?
Savage Time. What's good?
Guys, Donovan from Orlando.
Donovan from Orlando. Law got from across the country. What you got for the show, brother?
I got a question. I got a scenario for you guys. I want to run by you real quick.
All
First
right.
question is, do you guys feel comfortable with the new offensive line depth and maybe the linebacker depth we have right now?
Yep.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Because
I'll start backwards. Linebacker depth, I think we kind of disregard Joe Thomas because we hear Van Der Esch. But having him on this team, I think we're like one linebacker away from me being like fully satisfied with the depth. But him as being that swing guy behind those three, I like him. So linebacker depth, I think we're okay. Jalen proved that he can play 16 games even when he wasn't 100%. If again, it's all the linebacker depth is going to depend on, you know, who we have inside behind Collins. If we have somebody else who can keep bodies off of those guys and let them run free, you know, that's less wear and tear on them. So, and that's a Sean Lee late into the season, and that's a Van Der Esch that has, you know, less to read, and a Jalen Smith who can, you know, roam free and wreak havoc the way he does. So that's really going to depend on the front four. I think that's going to determine what the linebackers do. As far as offensive line, I mean, 100%, I'm with Voch, man. Our starting five is crazy. And then I love Cameron Fleming behind that. And I haven't really looked much at Marcus Martin, but I do know he's a mauler. So if he stays on the team anyway, but and we have guys behind those guys now. They all can run block, every last one of them. Even last year, you know, our backups could run block. So Chaz Green can definitely run block. The guy who was backing him, I forget his name actually now. Not Ash. Ash is on all defense. Number 7, Byron Bell.
Right.
Yeah, and then I think we got rid of Jonathan Cooper. But they all can run block. You know, that's one thing they can do. So I like our offensive line a lot. I think we put ourselves back in the mix with the Connor Williams. I'm not going to say we're back at number 1 yet because Eagles are formidable.
We back.
We up there. We up there.
Hey, you know what?
I'm fair with it, man. I'm fair with it. I call it spade a spade. We top 5 for sure.
Me and Mr. AKOYE, Big Brother AKOYE, we had plenty pre-draft shouting matches about where the hell La'el Collins can play. He wanted left guard and he wanted Cameron Fleming at right tackle.
Yep. Yeah, where we was like, yo, you crazy. Like you crazy.
To be fair, that's a solid offensive line to walk into week 1 with. But we have the luxury of Cameron Fleming coming off the bench just in case something happens. So, so if you consider Cameron to be a starter, the fact that he is coming off the bench is even better for us, sir. So that answers your question. Quickly, like real fast, like what's your second point? Because we got a lot of people on this phone.
Scenario. Fourth quarter, playoff game, 1 minute left. Who does Rod Marinelli put on the defensive line?
That's easy. That's easy. Appreciate you. Thanks for calling, bro. So we got D-Law and Randy, clearly.
Right.
You know what, to be fair.
Hey, did he give it a down and out distance?
You know so what? It has to be third down and third and short, 3rd and 5, something like that.
I like Rod Marinelli 3-2-6 defense when he goes three down linemen.
So 3 downs would be Irving, Irving and Law and Gregory,
right.
That's your best 3 right there.
And then you put Lee, and then you put maybe Van Der Esch, maybe because when they went to 3-2-6, they didn't even put Jalen Smith out there.
You 100% put Van Der Esch.
I think you take Jalen out in obvious passing situations. Like we're not the Panthers where we could take, you know, like Shaq Thompson or like a Jalen and put him out and let him play against a seam or a slot receiver. So I think you take him out and run that nickel package because it makes us stronger. If you take if you get an extra DB on the field because we're stronger at DB than we are at linebacker.
Right. You're stronger at DB, so you play with your strength. You go with the 3-2-6 defense. Yeah,
that's why we should have drafted Miles Jack because we can cover the goddamn 5 wide out of the damn 4-3.
Out of the base formation. The Panthers and the Jags are the only teams that do that in the league. Oh, in Minnesota.
because
they'll keep their 3 linebackers on the field, and that's it. Like they'll do that most of the game.
And that is some sexy football, man. Like former coach brain, dog. That's some sexy football where you can run your linebackers out and say, don't worry about that. Go cover them slot guys.
Yeah, because you could dictate to what they do. Like that's how the Panthers, we're going to see them, man. And I know a lot of you guys saw the film that I just did on that, but we're going to see that this year because they the way they use Shaq Thompson, they'll have him. You know, he was covering Aguilar most of the night against the Eagles last year, and he was doing a pretty good job, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I've seen corners get beat the same way by him. So I say for him to be a linebacker and Aguilar didn't put up 300 yards, that's damn good. You know, pretty damn good. So for him to be able to do that is rare, and it dictates to where you're going to throw the ball because you're always going to take that mismatch when you see a linebacker out there against a corner, but you're not going to beat him consistently. So that's saying something.
Go watch Miles Jack versus BYU. Coach say, don't worry about it. Just go out there and cover slot. See what happens. The slot ain't doing nothing. Plenty more calls. Look, it's the funny part. Like we'll have like 15 calls and then like 3 people leave. Like, okay, cool. And like 5 people come back. we lit the night. 859. Y'all ain't got work tomorrow. Who this?
This Coach Cornett in Kentucky.
Coach.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, Kentucky. Coach. What up, Coach Kentucky? What you got for the show?
Well, Cowboys Nation is strong in Kentucky. I'll tell you that for a fact.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, real quick. I won't take you too long. I put up some stuff out on Twitter yesterday regarding the trade for Earl Thomas. I still think it's going to happen. I think a lot of people are forgetting that the salary cap is going to go up by 10% next year. That's going to be enough to cover his salary. And I still think that with this defensive secondary, as young as it is, he's going to be able to add a whole lot to the secondary. And when I grew up in football, you had 2 sayings. A great pass rush is a young secondary's best friend, and a great secondary is a young pass rush's best friend. I think both of those apply here. Because this pass rush we're going to have this year with Randy Gregory coming back, and then on the 5th game with David Irving coming back, it's just going to be monster. I mean, you think the Rams are going to have a pass rush with Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh? I think we're going to be equal to the Rams.
I mean, yeah. With Gregory, I can't argue with you. I mean, I think the Rams have proven potential, and we have a lot of prove it potential. But I can agree with you though.
I think Ndamukong Suh's on his way out. I've seen him. I've seen his lackluster play in Miami.
That man's very talented.
Yeah, he's even on his way out. Who do we have that can match him inside right now? Like Collins is a far cry from Ndamukong Suh, so we don't have. I mean, Irving.
I'll take Travis Frederick on him any day of the week.
This is where we may have some bright side here. Is that somebody got to play out of their natural position. See, both of those guys are 3 techs, and Ndamukong can play 1 tech, but you can fix that situation to make him 3 and Aaron Donald 1. Like somebody gonna have to play out of the spot. But Aaron Donald good too. Damn.
I mean, they got Wade Phillips though. So Wade Phillips
ain't no punk, man. They could just run 2 threes, man. But
so he takes guys, and you remember when we had Jay Ratliff playing the nose tackle. I'm sorry, and that's not he was undersized, and he still was playing well with Wade Phillips when we had him. So Wade Phillips he's creative, man. Like I don't think he doesn't run a traditional 3-4
when he played, fellas.
The best part about this, though, man, is they have this interior D line. I'll say that interior, but I think we have the offensive line to match it. Like yeah, they're tough, but we and I'm part of this too. Sometimes I don't give us enough credit about our good guys. I only look at the other team's good guys and be like, man, what we gonna do? But damn, we probably gonna have the most prolific, most physical run game in the league. They got to stop us. And I think with the guys that we have, which are the best guys, I think we can move Ndamukong Suh. We can block Aaron Donald. I've seen us block Aaron Donald. When we played Miami, we blocked Ndamukong Suh. We didn't do it at the same time, but damn it, but
I mean, we got the Domicum Sue killer on the team right now, but he's our backup. That's Cam Fleming. When he played for New England, he shut all of them down, man. All three of them, Chris Harris, Domicum Sue, and Cameron Wake. So yeah, we got it.
I think Travis Frederick and the guys can do the job on the inside. I really do.
I love Travis, but he ain't Zach though. Zach the one you won in that fight. What else you got for the show?
I think Travis Frederick's the most underrated All-Pro they have.
Yeah. Hey man, Travis Frederick didn't even make the top 100 list. I mean, that's it. That's all you got for the show though. We good?
That's a bullshit list, dude. Hey guys, thanks a lot. I'll let you get back to somebody else is doing a good job. First time on with you fellas. Have a good night.
My man,
thanks, Coach. Appreciate you, Coach.
See, this is what we're doing right here. We're not just gonna tell people all three segments that we taking calls. Then we get to the third segment and we don't take calls. We trying to get to everybody out here.
Right.
We want.
But they keep coming though. They keep coming.
I ain't taking shots at nobody. But look, they'll get on that damn microphone like, hey man, we want to hear y'all calls today. They give the number 3 times. Don't call, don't answer nobody for phone call time.
Right.
But we try to get to everybody, man. So let's get up in here. We got 6 more people. It'll be 10 before it's over. 210. Who this?
Hey, what up, guys? It's Matt from San Antonio.
San Antonio.
We all around the globe. Come on.
We should have kept tabs on it. What you got for the show, brother?
Yeah, man, I got a statement and I got a question. The statement is, I'm tired of hearing about Earl Thomas. Like, I'm a huge fan, but he's an outlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, Xavier Woods, he got drafted with these guys, so let them grow together. Let Chris Richard mold them into be a nice young secondary. And my question is going to be, what's up with this logjam at defensive end? We got a lot of talent, and I know about 3 years ago we didn't have no talent. Who y'all think is going to make the final roster?
Me and Voch did this the other day. We said we went with 8.
Time out. AKOYE, let me ask you a question, AKOYE. Who would you poison to make room for Randy Gregory? We haven't asked you this question yet.
I don't think it's a hard question because I think Rob Marinelli is going to look at it from, he looks at defensive lineman rather than defensive end versus defensive tackle versus, whatever, 3-1 technique, because he knows he can substitute guys in and out, especially just no-name bodies like Ash and Deontay or Detone Jones and those guys, right? So I think one of those or two of those guys get out of here, and we might keep more defensive ends than you would think. I think Tapper, honestly, I still think he makes the team if he's healthy. Connie Ely, we didn't bring him here for no reason. Jahad Ward's inside, obviously. But then you have Gregory coming back actually creates less trouble because him coming back actually makes it clear cut who we want to be the starters. Then everybody else can fall in line.
Dorrance Armstrong, man. He might have had.
And I haven't even heard his name all night. We haven't said his name, and that's what's crazy. Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to make this team. But he reminds me of Taco. Him and Taco play similar. Like they're strong guys, and in college their athleticism prevails. But we'll see how many moves they have and how much technique they have now that they're in the league. You're not just going to bull rush everybody. And that's what he generally does.
Bob Marinelli can, work that magic and get us to the playoffs and hopefully a Super Bowl. Because man, it's been a long time waiting.
And for an example, man, look at the Eagles last year, man. Last year they had I'm not going to count, but they had more defensive end talent than almost anybody in the league. So and they used them all inside, outside, wherever. So I think if you keep guys fresh, in spot work and you stay in positions where you can pin your ears back, it doesn't matter how big you are. If you're playing a game where it's even and it's smash mouth all game, you might need a big body in there. But when you're playing from a lead, you already know you're going to be seeing a lot more pass rushes in those games. So if we can, and we're not a team that's built to come from behind anyway, because we're not a throwing team, regardless of how you slice it. So I think we're good with the defensive ends we have, and most of them will make the team depending on attrition.
Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir.
So before I get to this next call, Jay Farm, love calling me out. I don't know if he trolling or he just emotional. But the whole partial reinstatement thing that comes from Okay, so Randy is able to work out and he's able to train and he's able to talk to coaches, he's able to be with the team, but it's only partial until he fulfills the full part of the agreement. So in his paperwork, for example, this ain't exactly it, but this is the example, right? Okay, y'all, I'm clean and I'm gonna take these tests and I'm gonna log into Dallas post drug rehab clinic. That's what I'm going to do just for the follow-up research. The league is saying, okay, well, you're partially done until we see paperwork that you've logged into the Dallas post weed research clinic. You see what I'm saying? So once he submits his paperwork and all that, then he'll be fully good to go.
Right.
Hard part's out the way. He just got to get all the rest of his stuff done.
Right.
So J Farm, take that. We got a phone call in particular that I want to skip lines and take first. Is this Mrs. Castillo?
This is.
Okay, so how can we help you tonight? Apparently, you have a problem with me and nobody else. What's the issues here?
Well, I don't have a problem necessarily. I
Mhm.
just have a replacement for you. So I will gladly send you a new hat.
Okay,
And I'll gladly send you a new hat that you can use to replace that one that's on your head.
So, this isn't the first time that I've heard this. I've had 3 live streams today, and you were on the first of the 2, and you're an Ohio State Buckeye fan, correct?
That's correct.
And the thought of this Michigan hat right here that looks very nice on my head is burning a hole through your eyes, right? So peep this out.
Yeah.
Just for you, Miss Castillo, if you send me an Ohio State hat, size 8, I got a big head. If you send me a size 8 Ohio State hat, I will burn this hat on camera.
Wow.
Oh, that'll make for good content.
I'll do it. So I'll talk to y'all on the back end. Just hit me on Twitter or something and we'll PM it and all that. And I'll burn this hat on camera and I'll wear my new Ohio State kind of like the choosing day, you know?
No doubt.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Castillo.
Yes, indeed. Hey, this is what happened, Voch. We live on EBSN, and it's an Ohio centric.
Oh, that's what it
station. Yeah, so she made
That
me
was
from.
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good call though, man.
Okay,
Thank her for calling in.
See, that's Andrew's wife, and Andrew was on my live stream earlier. She saw my hat, and she was like, "You need to take that mess off, or you can't watch Voch Lombardi no more." And they had to negotiate, so they're gonna send me a new hat.
I can't wait to see that, man. Also, we got my guy from Dallas Cowboy Scouting jumping in, so that's what you may see, Voch.
Okay. What up, though?
What up with your man?
Holding it down for the Doski Woski, brother. We running through these phone calls. That's cool with you?
The one and only
man,
West Coast, man.
What's up with you, man? It's the most traveled cowboy, man. Shoot, in the building, man. It's just a pleasure to be on YouTube, man. I don't make my way to YouTube too often, but when I do, I only mess with the best, man. So what's up with you guys, man? It's a pleasure to have me on here tonight, man. What's going on?
Now you know why I wasn't answering the phone.
I see.
He's live on the nation, but we also live on Phantom, Big Game James Page, Silver and Blue, and D Dallas Prospect, guys. Every legend was once a prospect. And also,
Absolutely.
We got my guy Voch Lombardi holding down the 1s and 2s on these phones.
Let's get back.
Yeah, I was just out. I was just your way a couple last weekend, Voch. I think I was out there, and you're in Dallas, right?
I'm in Houston.
Oh, Houston. Okay, well, I was down the street from you then.
Okay. No doubt. Let's hop in this real fast. We got 336. What's cracking? Who it is?
Good, man. It's AD from Greensboro, North Carolina.
AD from NC. What you got for the show?
Man, I got a couple of statements, and when I say couple, just 2. And my first statement pretty much is that what bothers me or what concerns me regarding our Cowboys, man, is that the only thing that we can really count on at this point is just the offense and Zeke. That's it, period. Everything else is if I pass a weed test, if D-Law was at a fluke last year. That secondary is trash. Y'all know.
I don't know about that, man.
Get your ass off the phone. What
No, let him speak. Let him speak his mind, man. Go ahead. Tell us, man. Go to your point. Get to your point, man.
Claim that you're a Cowboys fan, right?
Boy, this was my show.
Really?
Boy, this was
are
my
you
show.
watching the game?
Boy, this was my
Are
show.
you
we watch it.
Boy, this was my show. I'd have hung up on you.
No, let him speak, man. You got 30 seconds. Speak your mind, man.
Oh, time. You talking to Voch Lombardi, not a Cowboys fan?
No. I'm talking. Y'all talking like that secondary is really good and it's garbage.
Have you watched film? Time out. What you watching film on?
I don't care. Time out, man. Okay.
How do you rank 11 against the
You watching film on the damn mic?
Go ahead. Let him say what he got to say.
But hey, the real question is, what is his definition of garbage? Because we may have his definition of garbage wrong. Like if his definition of garbage is that we don't have the second best or first best ranked, defense in the league, then I can see that we could be garbage. But the fact is that there was only 8 take away 32. Well, we were 8th ranked defense. So that means whatever that number is, I think that's like 26 or 22, 24. That means that there was only 24 other defenses that could even come close to us. So for you to say that our defense might not have get you a whole bunch of interceptions or got you a whole bunch of stylistic points, but the point of the matter is our defense did a very good job of getting the ball back when needed times. And most importantly, our defense did a really good job of when our offense could not score, because you got to remember, there was a lot of times last year where our offense could not score. I'm thinking of 3 or 4 times where Dan Bailey himself missed field goals. And in those 4 times, our defense got us the ball back after Dan missed the field goal.
Man, let me hear your point, man. Let me hear his point. Let me give his point out.
All right, go ahead.
When we needed to get a stop on defense, did we get one? Answer the damn question.
It happens all the time. What are you saying?
Now, one thing I will say.
Hold on. I got this one.
Just looked us in the face.
I got this one.
Just looked us in the face and said he don't care nothing about no damn film, and he didn't smile. He didn't laugh. He
didn't say LOL. Nothing. Listen, man. Since you asked for one, I'll give you a couple right now, right? You got the end of the game against KC. We stopped the drive against Alex Smith. They were in position to come back in that game if they would have kept that drive alive. Heath intercepted the ball, ended the game. Yeah, hold on, that's one. Hold on. That's one. Then you got the last drive against the Raiders where Heath actually literally stop the defense. The offense at the goal line to win the game.
But remember the only reason why the Raiders even got close there is because Derek Carr, because Dallas Cowboy Scout, and we was live in the building for that. Derek Carr threw up a Hail Mary to anybody except for God and Drew Pearson to try to catch, and the referee threw the flag on a 4th and 9. On a 4th and 9, he was looking for a call. I'm not gonna put that on Jordan Lewis. You want to know why? Because Jordan Lewis is a cornerback. Where was the safety at? You know what I'm saying? He kind of had no choice.
It depends on the call. It depends on the call, though.
But what I'm saying is the only reason why we even come close in that Raider game is because of that pass interference. It was a 37-yard pass interference. Your defense did their job, man. Come on.
Hold on. This is one thing I will say on his behalf. We were 26, 27 ranked on third down defense.
This man.
That's one thing we need to improve.
Can I say something real? Hey, can I make a point real quick? Make a point. The reason why our defense was so different on third down, you want to know why?
Talk to me.
Because the Dallas Cowboys were 3rd least attempts in third down conversions in 2016. You want to know why? Because our first down went first down, second down, first down, second down, first down, second down, first down, second down, touchdown.
So we had no experience at third down. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. We didn't even really play third down. Then you also got to think of like this: Ezekiel Elliott led the NFL in first downs. Even with playing 10 games, he had 96 first downs. Le'Veon Bell was second.
Thank you. Some facts, man.
Now think of this. Now you take away those first downs. And you have Dan Bailey who's not making kicks. That's your defense.
Time out.
That's your
Right
defense
there.
defending and having to get the ball back.
Time out.
Now there's no excuse.
Time out. Let's hear him out. Oh, we can't because I hung up on his goof ass.
Hey, Voch, you wrong, man.
You don't come up
You
on
wrong,
this
Voch.
show.
You lose.
You don't come up
Good
on this show
day,
talking
sir.
about I don't care nothing about no film. What the hell wrong with you?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I can talk that cowboy talk, but y'all better at that film stuff. So that's why I don't even touch it, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys are my go-to people for film. I trust you enough to do that. So I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That film is something else. That's that Gouda gold, and y'all three are the best at it. So I ain't even gonna lie. I refer to y'all film very, very oftenly.
Let's go to the chat box, Voch, man. What the people saying in the chat box, man?
I don't know because I just hung up on this man, so I ain't looking at the chat box. I'm looking at my damn notepad. Let me see who next. 512, say something nice to get hung up on. 512,
Yeah, hi.
what's that? Who this?
This is Polo.
What
And
up?
I'm from
What up, Polo?
Idle, Texas.
Okay.
Probably like 2 hours away from Dallas.
Okay, what
And
you
I
got for the show,
two
Polo?
questions.
What's up?
All right, so since Dez left, and I know a lot of people call double coverage on him, and now would other teams mostly focus on probably stopping the run more if they think because we're a run-heavy offense?
Nothing really changes but that receiver position because even when we had Dez, the object was to stop Zeke.
Stop Zeke.
Because you can't let Zeke get off. Like, if you let Zeke get off, Dez don't matter. So the problem is Dez had his one-on-one coverages now. That's going to be Hearns now. That's going to be Gallup now. So it really ain't changed that much. I mean, Zeke's still the number one threat here. So,
True.
I hope that
Yeah, so like, I mean, he had a lot of open gaps, and that was probably from focusing on stopping the pass instead of the run. Do you think they're going to try to play the run more often now, since it's only about Cole Beasley and Darren's
They already do.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
They already do.
There's no more run playing you can play. like
They already do.
Like people think that that last year the play action bootleg didn't work because it was predictable. It didn't work because nobody's afraid of Alfred Morris. You know what I mean? If you put Zeke back, them linebackers and safety, they gotta respect the play action. They gotta respect bootleg and RPOs and all that. So it just depends on who's running the football. When King get back into place, everything's gonna fall back in line.
Right.
Hey, and you know what? And a good example is the Denver game. And then or you were at a defense who had a very good scheme that's designed to beat it. You know what I'm saying? I think there are a couple defenses that are kind of designed to kind of play with the Dallas Cowboys. Any defense that has a linebacker that can get off the end pretty quickly, or who can get back in and adjust pretty quickly, I think can not necessarily line up with the Dallas Cowboys, because you really can't. It's about, can you be a Thanos killer for Ezekiel Elliott? Because in my opinion, there's not much that can stop Ezekiel Elliott on the field. There's situations in life that can stop Ezekiel Elliott, but when you get him moving, I call him Thanos. I think the only Thanos killer in the NFL is on our team. I think that's Sean Lee. I think Sean Lee, if you put Sean Lee on the other side, that's the only person that really gives Zeke a problem. Because he can run side to side.
Game of the season, man. His name is Luke Kuechly, man.
Luke, I know.
Gotta block.
You gotta stop him this year. We seeing Jack too. We seeing Jack and Telvin Smith as
What'd
well.
you say?
So we're gonna see some defenses this year, man.
You know what Zeke gonna say? Luke, I am your father.
Thank you.
That'll be a good. You just gave me an intro now, man.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question though? Can I ask you guys a question? This is something I posed on my blog today, and this is this: if Randy Gregory steps out there, hypothetically, Randy Gregory steps out there, gives you 9 sacks this year, no matter how many games he plays. If Randy Gregory accidentally falls into 9 sacks this year, are you okay with letting Irving and Tank walk?
Not both at the same time.
No. Now listen. No. Let me finish. Let me see the reasoning. Let me tell you the reasoning. This is the reasoning behind it. The reasoning behind it is this. Tank is going to want $17 million regardless of what he provides. The Dallas Cowboys have already shown that they will rather take equity than production. Now they took the equity with Dak Prescott and they let Tony Romo go. You get high end talent on a low paycheck. It's the exact same thing. The third highest position in the NFL is the defensive end. If we're able to get high end production from Randy Gregory, think of this: for the next 2 years, we only committed $2.2 million. We pay him $890,000 this year, and we pay him $980,000 next year. So if he gives you 9 sacks this year, why would you invest $17 million into someone?
I got 2 reasons.
And then you still have Coney Ealy. You still have the guys that you drafted. My thing is this: if you don't give him a chance, Voch, give me some hope, Voch. That's all I'm saying.
Roughly $1 million a sack, man. If he do it again this year, you pay the man.
You do.
3 things. First of all, I want Coney Ealy to kill John Wick's dog and take his car because I want Coney Ealy completely out the picture. I don't want to talk about Coney Ealy no more.
I said kill John Wick's dog.
So the way I see it, even if we are getting that type of production from Randy, we still need a certain amount of money allotted to that position. And if Randy's only making $900,000, just take that 17 and give it to D-Law. This is another point too. D-Law wants 17 right now. Pay that man before Von get his money. Pay him before.
That's true.
Pay him.
That's true.
You want to lock him in if you're gonna keep him.
Because by 2018, Khalil Mack and Von Miller gonna be making like 22, and 18 gonna look like a steal. So, man, look, lock up DeMarcus, man. If he can get double-digit sacks again, lock him up. Then you get the 9 from Randy, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever.
What you do with David, though? Go ahead and go with David Irvin. What you do with him?
And to be fair, David Irvin may or may not make it. He may be our
he the second.
There you go. That's the point.
David Irvin is helping us. He's helping us keep him. Because with the off-field issues that he has, if he in the fact that they suspended again, his production and his off-field issues are going to create a discount. So he's going to help us keep him when it's time for us to re-sign him, because we're not going to have to sign him to a premium deal because he's tainted.
But you also got to think like this: Irving won't do another 1-year deal again. I mean,
he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to.
But I'm saying this year. But I'm saying the type of agent that he has. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying they're going to give him a 3-year prove-it deal like Baltimore tried to give Dez. He's going to get a middle-of-the-pack type deal where it's good money but not top of the line. And then he's going to have to actually put up crazy numbers. But for a D tackle, what people don't realize, like in half a season, he put up 7 sacks, 7 or 8 in only 8 games. So and that saying that alone is like, okay, you have that's a defensive tackle, not a defensive end doing that. That's unheard of.
You can pay.
Now think about this.
In 3 years, like $5 million per year, and he'll sit down and be fine. I'm a big fan of. I'm a huge fan of overkill. Like all 3 of them can be good. Let's keep them together though.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? I don't know if David Irvin will stay, because about 3 months ago, I twittered his agent and I said, hey, 2019, will David Irving be the highest paid? And I actually put D tackle, and he didn't catch it. He probably meant DN, but I actually put the question was D tackle. Will he be one of the highest paid D tackles in the NFL? He says smiley face and likes it. Now, this is before the suspension. This is all on Dallas Cowboys Scouted. This is posted on my page. This is before the suspension. Now, I still think that David Irving is a guy who is really looking for that bag, man. And I do not think, regardless of him producing, regardless of what he produces next year, I think he's going to be looking for a large contract next year. I just feel
this is the thing
right here.
If David Irving get one more suspension, he's suspended for the year. So all the favors is on us. You see what I'm saying? So we trust me, Stephen Jones. He got the knife. He got the board. He got the shotgun. He's not that Jerry Jones guy. He would take you out. He would exile you.
Stephen Jones already said that he's not. Stephen Jones already said it would be very hard for the Dallas Cowboys to give him a long-term contract.
There you go.
I mean, Stephen Jones said that before the suspension and before the baby mom.
With the Dallas Cowboys, then you probably can't get signed with anybody else. It's just gonna be hard.
Man, y'all remember Man, y'all remember Charlie Murphy was at the club and Prince walked in and say, "Hey, let's play basketball." Remember how hard Charlie Murphy was laughing? That's how hard Stephen Jones gonna laugh when David Irvin say, "Hey, I want to be the highest paid defensive tackle in the league."
He gonna say, Hey Voch, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap!
Don't laugh at him, man. And look, man, he should understand the situation that he's in, dog. Like what are you gonna go to the Browns and make $6 million? Stay with us and make 5.
Nah.
Come on, man. Stay with us.
Yeah, but my thing is,
this year.
David Irving, man, I don't think but you got to think with him, man. He's probably looking at himself as, I got to get this bag. You know, he messed up in college, barely got picked up on practice squad, so he barely makes it into the NFL. Now he bounces from one practice squad, from another practice squad, finds his place with the Dallas Cowboys. So theoretically, in his mind, man, he's still playing on a rookie contract. He's still playing on the money that he initially signed to come into the NFL on. So I just don't feel I understand. I don't feel that I'm worth that, but I just feel that these guys are going to think that they are worth more than that.
I usually agree with you, but I think we're gonna get him for a discount because of his off-field issues. He's gonna be grateful to sign back with us. But at the same time, man, I think it's all in his court. Like Putin just did to Trump last night, giving the ball's in his court. The ball is definitely in Irving's court. If he can get double-digit sacks as a defensive tackle, shut up and pay him something. You might not pay him top notch money, but
if he get double-digit sacks and he missed 4 games and he still get double digits, man,
that's what I'm saying. He would have did it last year. He missed another 4 games after suspension because of a concussion. He was trending. He was averaging. He would have did 14 sacks if he would have played the whole season the way he was playing. So if he would have played 4 more games,
but doesn't it benefit the Cowboys more? Doesn't it benefit our Cowboys monetarily for a guy like Taco, for a guy like Randy, for a guy like who else? Anybody other than Tank and D-Law to have, anybody other than Tank and Irvin to have really good seasons next year, because that money that we could save. My thing is this, man. Nobody projected Tank to have 14 sacks last year. We didn't project that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm under the impression if you put Tank on the other side and he has to go against those $10, $15 million tackles on the other side.
But you won't though.
It ain't that many.
You won't. You won't have to, because now you got Gregory over there. Why would you put him over there?
And tackles are trash. Like D-Law is supposed to be the left defensive end. He's supposed to be there.
Think about
Taco
this, man.
is your left defensive end, man.
Taco is your 3-tech.
Whoa! Is he on that Voch diet? Is he gonna be on that Voch diet before we put him on that 3-tech?
If he is, then he can play like Calais Campbell. But I like Taco's friend. He is a long dude.
Hey, what saved Taco is that we got 5 years with him, so he's good.
One more thing, and I'm gonna get back into the phones because we got all the way off track. If we win a Super Bowl this year, you can cut David Irvin. Honestly,
you will be doing him a favor if you cut him after a Super Bowl, because he can still get signed somewhere else because of the experience.
You know what I'm saying? So once we got the bag, we can talk shit for a decade. We'll just restart after that. But let's get back to the phones though. We left old boy hanging. I had to hang up on him. My bad, Famo, whoever you were. Good question though. 202. Who this? Wake up. Who?
Rizzo.
Rizzo. What you got for the show, Rizzo?
What's going on, y'all? I'm from VA.
Okay.
My dad's cousin is Timmy Newsome. That's why I'm a Dallas fan.
Oh.
I just wanted to say that first.
Okay, bloodline.
But I wanted to say I hope Lance Lenore the roster. I've been watching him lately.
Wow.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about him. I've been watching him for a couple of years now. Anyway, I hope he makes the squad.
Wow.
I think he's a good route runner. I think that's what the Dallas needs right now. We got a lot of different receivers, but I think Lance Lenore should make the squad.
Man,
I hope that they cut Terrence Williams sometime. I know that the money's tied up where they can't cut him right now. Where's Roger Goodell at when we should be suspending his ass for that DUI?
Oh, he'll get something for it for sure.
The league isn't in a session right now.
He's back. They reinstated him. I think that's going to be very great for us. as far as the David Urban situation, like you guys said, we're gonna keep him for probably another year, sign him another year contract, keep him cheap, give him cheap anyways. And I was gonna say something else, man. Damn. Oh, Rico Gathers, man. I hope he makes the roster.
He probably won't.
I know they said that he can't block.
He probably won't
but
make the
Jimmy
team.
Graham can't block either. Let's be honest.
He probably won't make the
So
team.
I hope Randy Gregory makes the squad. I mean, Rico Gathers makes the squad or whatever. And other than that, man, I like everything else. I don't think that we need Earl Thomas. It would be great to have him, but I'm really getting tired of hearing the talks too about Earl Thomas. If they're gonna sign him, sign him. If not,
it's not on
the
Cowboys.
It's on the Seattle Seahawks. They got to make that
Yeah, it's not on the
first,
Cowboys.
man. So
yeah, I mean, they got to get divorced first. He's currently in a marriage. I said on my show, currently the Dallas Cowboys, we're the side chick.
I know, but I mean, I honestly, I not be sold on Jeffy. There's plays where I always see him compete, but man, he's really come through for the last couple of years. And I think Xavier Woods is he's gonna show out this year. Just like I expect Jalen Smith to show out this year that he's 100% healthy, So I believe in his defense. As long as everybody can stay healthy, as long as Sean Lee can stay healthy, get everybody in position, be on the field with Jalen Smith and LVE. I think this defense will.
I see you, Voch.
All right, man. I feel you, man. Hey, the defense gonna be good, man. Shout out, man. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for calling in, bro.
I just hung up on you. I just hung up on you. He ain't even control. I say, shit. Let me hurry up and hang up on this.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I got to talk to Lance Lenore at the fantasy football convention this past weekend, man. And I ain't gonna lie. When you talk to players, they get you all riled up. I know you ain't supposed to get all riled up, but they get you really confident and really feeling emotion. You know what I'm saying? And just from what he's been putting out, he's a guy that the Cowboys have invested a little bit in. I mean, if any time is a time for Lance Lenore to make a team, it's right now. Because honestly, with Allen Hurns making $6.5 million this year, I think the Cowboys are open for anybody to beat Miles Austin. You got to think, when Tony, when we got rid of not Tony Romo, when we got rid of Terrell Owens, unfortunately, we had a void, the same kind of void like this. It was exactly Tony Romo's third year again, and out of nowhere, Miles Austin coming out of winter. I'm not saying. I'm definitely not saying it, but I would definitely love to see Lance Lenore, do something this year, man. I would definitely love to see him do something this year.
The best thing that happened, I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. The best thing that can happen to Lance Lenore, and I'm not hating, man, but I'm serious. With the way we are, it's just like similar to the Panthers, man. You don't want to be a premier or number one receiver playing for a team that's predicated on the run because it won't be a focal point. The pass won't be anyway. So just like there are no premier receivers emerging out of Carolina, you're not going to see him emerge out of Dallas right now either. So the best thing that can happen to Lance Lenore, honestly, is him get waived and claimed by a team with a passing pass first mentality. On this team, I like who we have ahead of him, to be honest with you, because they're guys who really are possession type guys. So with a guy like Hurns out there and Beasley, I like that. I like that more so than trying to figure out how to throw Lance Lenore in the mix. Austin's going to play because he's our Swiss Army knife type guy, and he opens up lanes for Zeke when we're looking at 9 to 10 man front. Sometimes that jet motion throws people off. So I don't think Lance Lenore. I mean, I like him, but I don't think it matters if he emerges into our starting lineup or not, because he won't be utilized properly. I don't think in his team. So I mean that's any receiver. That's not just him. I just don't think we're going to be an elite passing attack. We're going to be a mixed bunch. Like when we're up against obvious secondaries that are susceptible to our play action and that can't stop Zeke up front, and we're playing with some urgency. I think we're gonna get 250-yard games and here and there. But I think Dak is going to average 180 once again, 190, and then also he averaged 223 total, but in the last 8 games he averaged like 166. So, I think Dak's going to do that again, and then he's going to add, his rushing yards to that equation, just like a Cam Newton. So I don't really care who we have at receiver right now. That's why the Dez conversation kind of ended with me, not because I thought it was old. It's just because, if you really do like Dez, you don't really want him playing with Dak right now. But Dak is mature. Yeah.
I like the. I mean, that was a phenomenal point that you made. I just think that right now, even Dak Prescott's only going to be required to throw the ball 15 yards. So I mean, at the longest, 20, 25 yards. So I mean, with that, you're looking for guys who are yak yard kings. Lance Lenore, where he's been, and if you look at his tape and everywhere he's played from college all the way up to now, he's a yak yard guy. He's been able to beat you over the top. Even with the Dallas Cowboys, even when he scored with the Dallas Cowboys, he was always a guy beat the cover two, split the safeties, and get that. That was probably about as good as he can get. And remember, when he did catch that bomb with the Dallas Cowboys, it wasn't Dak Prescott that threw the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I think that anybody who can win in space and anybody who can show our offensive coordinators when I get the ball, I can win in space and I can win and do my job. I think they got action on the team. I think you can't. I think other than Tavon Austin being a running back, I think you can put Lance Lauren that same token because they built the exact same way. I mean, they built the same. They're primarily built the same way. Now, obviously, Tavon has an elusiveness that I just think that hasn't been expounded yet. He has high end elusiveness, but I just think that our offense and our passing game is just going to be predicated on getting them the ball as quickly as possible and then let them do their thing.
But you know what we do with talent, man. We don't really. We have offensively. When's the last guy you've seen other than I think you named it, Miles Austin. We had Miles Austin. We had Sam Hurd. When's the last time though offensively we've seen a receiver?
Kevin Ogletree.
I mean, those are, but look who was throwing the ball during that time, and that's not
Lamar
shade.
Robinson.
Yeah, that's not shade on Dak. That's just straight up. Like Dak is not a pass offense type of quarterback. He is a smash mouth, field general type guy, and he's great between the 20s. And if we have a red zone threat outside of the run, I think that's all we'll be missing. And if Rico gathers plays, that's it. Just like Cam Newton has Olsen, we need one guy that has a big body who can get physical in the red zone, and we'll have a red zone threat pat in the air. But right now, we don't. We really don't. And so we'll be trying to smash it in there when we get in the red zone. So,
we'll see what they work with. Mm-hmm.
And then also, Kuye, also think of this. I also think like this, Dak Prescott showed that he can be very effective with the RPO. So it's like, a lot of those touchdowns and a lot of those third downs conversions that we did, I think Dak's his actual feet will be the Jason Witten. You know what I'm saying? The utilization of Dak Prescott inside, because I think pretty much every time that he's done an RPO inside the end zone, the boy scored. I remember one time where he got stopped at the goal line and he went flying like a helicopter. Don't want him to do that again. But I mean, for the most part, with that fat body of Dak, and he a pretty big boy, he gets in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, we got to think about that also. Even though we are losing that big body around there, we also got a quarterback who can legitimately run. When Tony Romo ran and scrambled, it's because that middle got killed. It was never because it was designed. I don't think we ever did a design run for Tony Romo, but I just think that the RPO can be our tight end for Dak Prescott.
It's different between running for your life and then running for a design run. Romo was running for his life.
Absolutely.
The only thing that matters is 21. We talking about the RPO. That's the aura. Damn it. The rest of it, we gonna be good. Zeke back will be fine. Zeke seems to be getting out of trouble. He ain't punching nobody in the face. He ain't lifting no shirts. We solid. Let's get back to these calls though. There's plenty of them. They looking at me. 571. Who this? 571. Wake up.
Going twice.
Am I on?
Yeah, you 571.
Oh yeah, okay. So I've been listening to it the whole time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as a I'm not calling to disrespect you guys. I'm a Redskins fan.
Who this?
But
who this?
I'm a Tobias Reed.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
I'm a Redskins fan. I like the moves you guys made. You guys got the best offensive line in the NFL.
Right.
And your
respect
reminds me of the old era, Redskins era. You got when Doug Williams was quarterback and Redskins had that good running game. Dak Prescott, he's going to be okay this year, man.
Be nice.
You guys don't really need top-notch receivers in that offense you guys about to run. Ezekiel Elliott, he's going to carry the rock. The only thing that you guys got to worry about is Tyron Smith staying healthy, because when he goes down, that whole offense seems like it goes down. Because
his blind side is not protected really well.
Tyron normally has back issues, but he plays through those. He gets shots and all that. What dropped him last year was the knee. So as far as
and Voch, you got to think about this: the guy that played beside him changed 3 times a game sometime.
100%.
Yeah.
Like nobody ever thinks about that. Like there were times where Tyron Smith, he can win his 1-on-1, and he's good enough where he can probably even help you. But if he can't focus on if he has to somewhat focus on what you're doing, that is 100% going to impede on what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking like he played bad. He played great last year.
I tell you what. Hold on, time out. This is my show. Time out. I tell you what. Law told me to do a film session on Chandler Jones, and man, Tyron was healthy as hell, and and Chandler shook his ass up, boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember that Cardinals film.
No, I remember that game. He got in one play.
Chandler did my boy filthy, man, but that's all I gotta say. Caller, we got like 10 more people. Quickly.
Can I say something?
Quickly.
Oh yeah, another thing. You guys don't have Jason Witten anymore, so I think you guys want to have a lot of 6 down linemen running sets. Like maybe Tyron Smith, he's not going to run a route, of course, but he's going to play the extra tight end. He's going to have Williams come in, maybe play tackle, and have the tackle you guys got from the Patriots to play right tackle. You guys going to have a lot of 6 down linemen sets.
How about Dalton Schultz? How about Dalton Schultz be our 6 down lineman and let him run block?
He must be talking about doing
True.
more of a 22
what you talking about? Stop our 5 linemen first, then we'll talk about 6-man blocking. Stop our 5-man blocking first, then we'll talk about getting 6-man.
I told y'all. I like overkill. Let's put 6 gangsters out there and see what happens.
The only game you think of last year that we needed 6 was Atlanta. Other than that, we had it under control.
We don't even need 6. I just want to pick on people and look them in the face and see what they're gonna do.
I think that Atlanta game, people don't give enough credit to the fact that Atlanta plays a Dak clone in Cam Newton. Cam Newton's like Dak, except for he has a little bit better.
Twice a year.
Yeah, so they see that all the time. Like they know we're going to load the box and force this guy to beat us with his arm. So it wasn't a fluke that they just shut Dak down. Look at what they did to Cam Newton the last game of the season. It's not a fluke. That's how they play running quarterbacks. They know how to beat those guys. So
I never looked at it that way.
It wasn't just Chaz Green. It was just the game plan in general. They're used to.
Honestly though, like I'm not a big fan of being nice this year. You know what I mean? Like whenever the Cowboys lose, we always got to hear from it. So if we can run the ball with 5, damn it, let's run with 6 anyway, just to see what's gonna happen. And
punch them in the mouth.
Let's impose our will on people. So by the 4th quarter, it just looks disgusting. We're in the final stretch of these calls, y'all. Let's run.
I mean,
they won't end.
We got 4 of them. 704. Who this?
This is Rachel Satan.
This who?
Down for the Dusty Wilson.
Who that is? Who that be?
Hi, law firm.
What's going on?
What's up?
How you doing?
I finally decided I gotta make a phone call since I'm making all these donations and so y'all can hear my voice.
It's so amazing since you said Doski Woski first out of all this, so it's kind of
that's why I shut up. I just sit down, let Voch happen.
So we really do appreciate you calling, but how can we help you? What we need? We ain't even got to talk about football. What you want to talk about?
No, actually, I'm calling about football, but y'all actually answered some of the questions that I was wanting to know about. Y'all talked about the run pass, options. And basically, what I want to know is what type of schemes do you think Scott Linehan is going to have since we don't have Dan and we don't have Jason Witten? How is he going to spice it up, and what kind of plays he's going to have to really utilize the things that we do have?
Yeah, this is what's going to happen right here. Go ahead, Koye, because I'm going to tell him.
No, you go first. I'll follow you up.
This is what's going to happen. This right now.
I want to piece this too.
Yeah, this forces Scott Linehan to make a different type of play calling, because now you don't have the Jason Wittens of the world. You don't have the Dez Brown, and I'm gonna say this, AKOYE, the 3 routes that he run. You don't have that anymore. So now that you have all of the new wrinkles
Run
now,
really good,
it's
though.
gonna throw in a different type of flow, and I can't wait to see how they're gonna utilize Tavon Austin. Think about this: in 2016, it forces them to also play the hand of what Dak Prescott was doing good at within college. So now we're gonna have that type of temperament. We're gonna have that type of flow out there with his offense.
Man, I agree, but I mean, I obviously disagree with the Dez part of it. But I definitely agree with the fact that the offense will look better. But it's an optical illusion, man. It's going to look like they're geniuses when really they're just getting a missing piece back this year. Because you guys, we forget that we lost Lucky Whitehead and we weren't running any jet sweeps last year. We were literally lining up and just trying to beat teams head up last year because Ryan Switzer wasn't who we thought he was in that, running back wide receiver tweener guy. That's what we were asking him to be, and he wasn't that. So we had to play a really Manila offense, which frustrated Dez off this team. But if you go back to 2016 and the way we use Lucky Whitehead and Lance Dunbar, we'll use Tavon Austin that same way. And our offense, our passing lanes will open back up. Zeke's running lanes will automatically be uninhibited on those types of looks anyway. So with that said, we'll get more, and we'll have Zeke for a full season. So we'll get more of the same. So I think we'll be back to the way we looked in 2016. But the question is not how good our offense is going to look, to be honest, because I think we will be back to form. The problem here is this is a real prove-it year because of the defenses that we're going to see this year. They're real. So yes, we're going to be able to do what we normally do, but we're going to be playing teams that are accustomed to stopping all sorts of offenses. So that's what you're really up against this year. I don't think it's really a matter of what Linehan's going to be able to put on the field, because we can just watch 2016 to see that.
Hey, man, it's West Coast. I'm going to be at training camp 3 days a week starting July 26th. But I'm going to tell you like this, man. I think what we need to see is more motion. First off, the Dallas Cowboys for a team. What is he doing? 21 for, I heard that. Hey, for a team.
See this?
Yes.
So this was gonna happen, dog. This is really what I want to see, right? I want to see us in this damn twins look, okay? and we're gonna be against somebody base formation. Strong side gonna be over here because this receiver gonna dictate strong side. And I want, pardon me, I'm gonna put Tavon over here. I want Tavon's as one-on-one with somebody's linebacker
and motioning around,
Hey,
moving
Voch,
around,
Voch, raise it up,
and
just
moving
a little
around.
Bit. Just raise it up,
just
a little
Voch.
bit, so people
Just raise it up. Hey, but that's basically what I was saying, right? I want to see our team looking for the mismatches, We last year we were like top least as far as motioning. We rarely motion. We rarely do any post snap, like before snap movements, anything. That's a great thing what you said about the jet sweep, because the thing about the jet sweep that people don't understand is it's not necessarily about can you run the jet sweep. The jet sweep reveals where the Mike linebacker is. It also shows where that sneaky blitz is coming from. If you don't do any type of movement, then guess what? You have to believe what the defense is showing you. You know what I'm saying? We have to. You're absolutely right. Both you guys are absolutely right. We got to get to a point where we are able to move, where Dak Prescott can say, Tavon, move, get out on this side. Because guess what? If that linebacker follows him, then he knows he's in man. If he doesn't follow him, then he knows he's in some type of zone. But right now, they're just shooting in the wind.
Yeah, that's what
they were just shooting in the wind last year. So we have to motion more. Like, we have to motion more.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all listening to nothing but the best. What's wrong with y'all, dog?
Hey, what you think about that, Voch? What you think about that? About the Cowboys motioning more? Just, you know what I'm saying? They're getting guys in motion more, getting guys going back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Exposing that defense and things like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Because that's something we don't do.
You know, it's a lot of techniques that we can use to differentiate man from zone, and this one of them. You know, whenever you get guys on the move, you kind of forced to readjust, or you're gonna get get guys out of position or whatever. Dak being a young guy, I mean, we can motion guys into route combinations. We can motion them and bring them back. They call it yo-yo motion. Put them in motion, bring them back just to kind of see what the looks are, see what the safety's doing. So, I mean, that's important. That's pretty standard. But I think the big difference is that with it being Tavon and being as fast and explosive as he is, you're going to have to respect and you're going to count for it. So.
But the jet sweep, I think the way we run it though, it's less about the pass than it is about the run anyway. We use it in a creative way. So we'll come out in a ace formation and run Lucky Whitehead in motion. And what it does is it makes that, even though when you're in the ace formation, you literally can come down 8 in the box and not have to worry about it, right? But when you have that jet sweep, even if you have 8, 9 in the box, it keeps the
somebody has to move.
I'm talking about post snap. The backside of that defense has to pause because they have to wait and see if Tavon's actually getting the ball. So they can't crash down the line on Zeke. So that opens up an automatic hole, or at least enough timing for the line to get in their positions and block. So it doesn't matter how many people you bring out there to get into those gaps. It doesn't matter because that jet sweep pauses the 4 or the 3 on the back end.
And think about this
it's
too
like
as
an
well.
RPO almost.
As far as the inline route, the what's open up vertically now that you take 82 off the field, you can do more of your 10 personnel and also the ace, like you said. You can put in that extra guy as far as like a Tavon Austin, any Ezekiel Elliott at the same time and on that backfield. And you can sprinkle in a Cole Beasley. So it's going to be nasty. It's really going to be nasty. Open up so much.
And then all these people who keep on bringing up the fact that Zeke's going to be running around he's going to be running against a 9-man front. Zeke's been running against a 9-man front since Pee Wee football.
And that's what you want. You really want him to
do
run
some
against
film
9-man front.
on Zeke. Yeah. I guarantee you he's been running against a 9-man front since Pee Wee football. The kid's that good. You know what I'm saying? So this is not nothing
about
new.
how good he is. It's about how long do you want him doing that. So you do want to get just think about this though, and I'm serious. Like when Dak matures, if he matures, imagine Zeke on a team like Pittsburgh, and not trying to big up anybody else's team, but imagine Zeke on a team where the quarterback actually takes heat off of the running back as opposed to relying on him. So once Dak's able to take that heat off of Zeke,
it's gonna be a totally different game.
And you're running out there in obvious passing formations like the 3-2, 3-2-6 or whatever. It's over. There's nothing you can do with Zeke if you don't have big bodies out there and he gets a jump on you. So if we're running that style offense where it's maybe not pass first, but at least a balanced offense, it's over. So right now you're looking at 9 in the box. Like think of Larry Johnson. We don't want Zeke to be a Priest Holmes or a Larry Johnson type guy who plays great, lights out, but flashes and then he disappears. Or even a DeMarco Murray for us. He flashed, he played great. He could have been like the one, and then we kind of saw the writing on the wall with his knee, and he kind of hampered his way through the end of his career through the Eagles and Tennessee. So if we're not beating our guys up and we keep them fresh, I like that scenario a lot better. I like a guy that gives us his best on 20 plays rather than gives us an average 40 plays.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's why we'll carry 3 running backs this year.
So let's get back into this, so we won't get too far off track, because we just leave people hanging on the phone.
Hey, we approaching 2 hours strong, man. But keep going, man. Let me know when y'all get tired.
Koye falling asleep over there. Koye falling asleep over there.
Hey, I'm in Cali, so it's only 9 over here, man.
It's midnight up here, man.
9 over there.
Burning the midnight oil.
It's 9:20. It's 9:23 out here, man.
Oh man.
So listen. Thank you so much for calling, man. I hope we answered your question.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. And Akoye, you might be my kin, so appreciate you have people from Rocky Mount.
Yep, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. My whole family from there.
Oh wow.
Okay then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my whole family.
Small town called Pine Top. You probably about maybe 18 miles from there.
Okay. Yeah, my family lived all through there. Greensboro, Winston. My dad lives in Winston-Salem right now, and a lot of my family. We actually having a family reunion Friday in North Carolina, so a lot of them still live down there.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to definitely give me an invite then.
Well, yeah, just shoot me a comment. We might be kin for real. You never know.
The cousin connection.
Thank y'all very much.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
gotta go to work. So I got
Yes, man.
12.25.
Till next
You
time.
have a nice one. I appreciate you calling.
Appreciate you.
Listen, I'm about to pull this clock out because I swear I saw Koye fall asleep. And it is.
No, I'm Gucci, man. I'm Gucci.
Cool. I'm still gonna pull this clock out because I do this on my show too. I'm gonna give y'all a smooth 90 seconds to get y'all a call out, and when y'all hear that beat, it's over. So boom, boom. All right. So we gonna jump into this next one. Bam, 404. What's cracking like? You on the clock?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Black from ATL.
What's that in the Black from ATL?
I want y'all to answer these once I jump off, but I really want to talk. All right, if we're talking 10 personnel, I think that eliminates a lot of the 8-man, 9-man box stuff. If you're looking at somebody like Cole Beasley in the slot or Tavon in the slot, I think that allows us to play against simple zones, and I don't think people can choose the man up against that. My question for you guys is, do we have the 5-man line that can still produce in the run game? You can answer that once my 90 seconds are up.
The 5-man offensive line?
Hell yeah. If we're going to play personnel, we're not going to have a tight end on the field.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that allow us the opportunity? Do we have that line with Connor Williams that we can get through?
Heck yeah.
We'll be able to
Man, Black always got these good questions.
Hey, a lot of people forget Connor Williams was the second best tackle in the draft last year. Even though he's gonna play guard for us, he was the second best tackle. So that's a kid that can play all over a place, man. So don't hate on him.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. Go ahead. First off, this is Voch's questions. Go ahead, Voch.
Go ahead, Voch.
Go ahead.
We're trying to eat your food, man. Go ahead and eat, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Voch.
First best, actually. First best. So
my next one
go ahead.
is looking at. I think what we're forgetting is Tyrone Crawford is playing his last season in Dallas. So depending on how David Irvin plays, David Irvin could see a contract from the Cowboys, probably not more than $5 million. But I think that's just an even swap on the money once you get rid of Tyrone Crawford. I think the surprise
makes more than that.
The surprise release would probably be Sean Lee if LVE can play. If he can't play, then we'd have to look at it another way. But the surprise release next year in terms of money saving or being cost effective would probably be Sean Lee.
I doubt that one.
He can play.
He's 32 years old. Sean Lee is 32, right?
Yeah,
He's
but I
30, 31. He made $10 million next year.
He's one of those guys that you let retire.
I think it's surprise. Hey man,
So Dez wasn't that guy.
I watch all you guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a pleasure to get on the show with you guys. But that's it, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, cool. Appreciate you. As far as the offensive line question goes, we definitely have the 5. This is, in my opinion, I think it's the best offensive line that we've had, man, because I do consider Connor Williams to be a better player than what Ronald Leary was. You know, Connor will definitely grow into being a better guy. But Lael's better than Free. And, you know, everybody else just kind of falls into that, fall into where they are or whatnot. But I fully expect, like, we can line up empty if we want to. We don't have to have a tight end out there. We can line up 5 against whatever and just run it. But I do think Dalton Schultz in the run game, he adds a little more to that as well. So it'll be fine. Whatever we need.
Hey, Voch. And then real quick, also remember this. Dalton Schultz, running back last year, that boy Bryce Love ran for over 2,000 yards. So he knows what he's doing as far as blocking for a running back.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
He knows Bryce is a dog. He's a dog. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing on that offensive line. So I don't think we'll have any problem. So I definitely agree. And then think about this: even the swing tackle, even our swing tackle is probably better than most swing tackles. Because Fleming, guess what?
For the Patriots, yeah.
Yeah, Fleming. Hey, Fleming is a guy that could be starting on someone else's offensive line. He would be starting on someone else's offensive line. The only reason why he's not starting is because he plays for Dallas. That is the only reason why he's not starting.
If we didn't sign Connor Williams, I would have been fine with having Leo Collins move to the guard position and starting Fleming. So the only reason I'm not upset with the fact that Fleming is benched is because we got a guy that when I watch his workouts, he's 300 pounds and he's vertical jumping 37, 40 inches off the ground on the crate. So, you know, when I looked at Connor Williams' workout, I said, okay, well, if we're going to put a guy like Cam on the bench if it's for a guy like Connor Williams and his upside, and I'll take it. That's how much faith I have in him. Maybe even more so than Will Hernandez because of his versatility.
I got a great
then think about this.
film session too, so y'all check that out on my channel. I got a great Connor Williams film session. Go ahead.
And then think about this, Voch. Worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario that could happen to the offensive line? Well, what happened last year? You had Tyron Smith go down, and you had bad play at the guard. You had a whole the whole one side of your offensive line just not playing well. Now think of that. If the worst case scenario happened this year, we would still be in a better position this year with the additions that we made this year with Clement Finley, because he's able to play the guard or the tackle position.
Hey,
so I mean, even if the worst case scenario happened, we're in a better position.
Just do me some favor. Let's knock on some wood though, because I don't.
I know. You're absolutely right.
Go ahead.
We're gonna move on to the next caller. Let me get my 90 seconds ready. I ain't playing with y'all. 4-4. Thanks for calling, bro. We got Platinum. Let's see what we got. John, the Cowboys fan. What's cracking lacking?
Hey, I just wanted wanted to call in and say that I don't think David Irvin is going to be on the team next year. He just seems like way too much trouble, and he's talented when he plays, but it's just like what's going on with this guy? Like it's like another thing, and I think that I think we're going to get away from the gambling of Jerry, and we're gonna be more like, get the hell out of here with Steven.
I mean, if it was any other team, I would agree with you. But we like damaged goods, and he's not as damaged as the goods that we used to like. So I think he stays around.
Yeah, it's not like he's Hollywood Henderson or anything. Talking about
he won the lottery twice, though. A lucky man, though. You can't knock a man who wins the lottery twice, bro.
Right.
It's just, and I just like, what the hell with the T-Will, man? How you gonna ride a bike drunk, and then it's like make a break year for you, and do the DUI thing and all that craziness, like, and is he? Are we gonna get rid of him or like what? Like, cause this guy is ruining himself,
Man, I want to say two things, man. I know I kind of jumped in on two different answers, but when it comes to T. Will, I'll bring up two guys, man. You got one, Irving Fry, who played for the Eagles back in the day, and then your Chris Carter. These guys were guys who had problems early on in their careers, especially Chris Carter with alcoholism. So at the end of the day, we might not live in a time where you can recover from public embarrassments the way you could back in their era, but I think T. Will still has a lot of football left. It just depends on how his character absorbs the impact of the embarrassment that he brung on himself. But I don't want to say, hey, he's not worthy of playing for any team now that he's done that, because if you judge any of us by how we acted when we were inebriated in college or in our early 20s, it would have been like, hey, I mean, I could easily be that guy, So, I just want to say, like, at the end of the day, it was a bonehead move. It was dumb. But, if he can come and show that he is remorseful, he was dumb on many levels. Maybe he plays for another team and gets another shot, and doesn't blow it. If he's full blown Alden Smith, then this might be the end of his career.
Yeah, but you know the worst thing you want to see, and I know people hate hearing this, and you got to think about it, but let's just be real. Let's put our pride aside, because I'm gonna tell you as much as we may not disagree with T. Will, if he's cut at 12:01, he will be on a team at 12:02.
I wouldn't even say that, because Dez ain't got a team. So I mean,
but the thing about this is the thing. Dez is in a different. Hold on, can I speak on Dez? Dez is in a different criteria though, because Dez is looking for number one-ish. T. Will, there's a gang of people in the NFL who will take a solid number two. To be honest with you, we would be okay with T. Will if T. Will wasn't an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. T. Will has never had any off the field issues. Like, this is the only thing that he's ever had. Now, if we've drank alcohol before, we all know that this wasn't the first rodeo. This was just the first time he actually hit something. You know what I'm saying? But this is go ahead, Voch.
This ain't got nothing to do with his off the field issue. I just don't think he fits what we trying to do on offense.
I mean, that could be a good point too.
That is the perfect point right there.
That's more of a point than anything.
He's a guy that needs a precision type passer. Yeah, same argument as Lance.
He's a down the field. He's a down the field. He's a downfield runner.
Hey, Vanilla Mamba said he got on the field issues.
It's called T-Rex arms. Right?
Shout out to Vanilla Mamba, man, and KD Dollars and Savage Time, man. Shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, T-Will gave us a little. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I mean, I was a big proponent. I think I'm more mad at the fact that he threw his boy under the bus than anything. I mean, people get drunk and drive all the time. I'm gonna be honest with you. People do that, but just throwing your boy under the bus, that was more detrimental than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind certain off the field issues, man. Alcoholics, gun under the seat guy, you know,
gun under the seat guy.
stealing from the mall and stuff. Those kind of off the field issues don't bother me. Even baby mama drama don't bother me.
Because they're kids still.
Yeah.
Because they can play. If you can play, let's run it, man. Long as you ain't out here kidding.
Let's not forget what's it called? Lawrence Little. What's his name from the Rams back in the day? He was playing after he ran over. I mean, not saying you should, and God bless the dead, but he actually killed someone with a car and was still playing ball. And that's before we started caring about things like that in the NFL.
Yeah, Dante Stallworth, you know.
Oh, he did it too. Yeah,
that's different though. That's Dante Stallworth. That's different.
That was bad.
He went to jail for a little bit, didn't he?
509. Who this?
Yeah, it's Raul from Yakima, Washington.
God, it's who? Voch Lombardi. Who? Raul. Okay, Raul.
Yakima, Washington.
Okay, Raul from Natchez, Mississippi. What you got for the show?
I waited 45 minutes just to say that one fan that called talking about secondary garbage.
He ready to rumble.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. He been waiting for 45 minutes. He said,
Time out. Wait. Raul, listen. I don't want you to think about time constraints. You just bought yourself unlimited time. Talk your talk, my friend.
Man, how you going to like? They were like rookies, bro. Like what you talking about? You never dared. You talking about Brandon Carr and all that. That's who you was thinking about. You know, of course, if you're gonna talk about, you think about Brandon Carr and JJ Wilcox and stuff. I mean, I like Wilcox, but he had his flaws. But man, these guys did way better than I thought they were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Way better than I thought they were gonna do.
Yeah.
And then these guys gonna come say they were garbage. So that man, get out of here. Look, you want to throw? I wanted to slap him. You can virtual snap. You can virtual snap. That's
I mean, Baker, the defensive. I mean,
Cowboys fans, you do not talk about the secondary like that, especially if they're rookies like that.
Well, I mean, think of this. Well, think of this, right? None of this. We had the same secondary coach for 11 years. Well, no, for 7 years, right? None of the DBs that we've drafted in the last 7 years, or even come across in the last 7 years, have gotten better. You know, every DB that's come into our camp has either stayed the same or regressed. Chris Richard was the single-handed. My thing is this: if you draft DBs, who were you trusting to even coach them up? I think last year was more of a year just kind of throwing them in the fire because Rob Marinelli is a D-line guy. He's never been a DB guy. He's never been known for DBs.
Man, I mean, you could drop the mic on this right here. Just leave it.
We got rid of Witten. I was not excited for this season. Honestly, like I was mad. I was like, I was looking forward to it once we got Chris Richard and everything. But now that all these other moves started happening, like I got that fire back. Like I'm so excited about this season. Finally, but when we first got rid of them, it's just I kind of lost for a little bit. I mean, I'm a real fan. Like I got them tatted on my arm and everything. I love the Cowboys.
Well, you better than me.
I mean, as far as initial talent though, man, and draft picks, we're more talented than the original Legion of Boom as far as on paper. I'm not gonna say on field yet because we don't know, but on paper, Byron Jones, they never had 3 starting or number 1 first round talent corners ever.
Foot race it ain't close. Foot race wise, what's more?
Yeah.
And in AKOYE, think about this: where they were drafted at, you would think that the Dallas Cowboys defense should have more upside than the Legion of Boom.
Oh, definitely. Like I mean,
because
Byron
these guys were all drafted
to.
Because think about these guys were all drafted to be good. Richard Sherman was not a guy that they thought was going to come in and be Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman played wide receiver all the way up until his junior year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Richard Sherman was not, they were the only person that they knew was going to be who he was Earl Thomas. And he looked over his Taylor Mays. He went over Taylor Mays to get him.
I mean, you can look at Xavier Woods' first year and say, hey, you know, you wouldn't give him the credit because he didn't have the pedigree coming out of Lafayette, or Louisiana Tech, I'm sorry, but you wouldn't give him that credit. But Xavier Woods played as good as anybody could have asked, other than the fact that he didn't force a lot of turnovers. But as far as you know, consistency, you hear Lewis's name all the time, you hear Cheeto's name all the time. But the best out of all three of those rookies was and still is Xavier Woods, because he played all year and you didn't see him all year. And when you don't see a DB, it's because he's not getting picked on. And he didn't get picked on all year, whether he was in the slot or when he was out deep. It just didn't happen. You didn't see people running right by him or beating him deep. He only got beat for one touchdown, and that was on a play action against the Giants in Week 14. You know, misdirection play, not a straight head up. You beat me. He hasn't gotten.
Well, theoretically, you really didn't see the only cornerback that you really saw on film getting beat deep last year was Anthony Brown, number 30. I mean, everybody else pretty much held their own. Even Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen didn't burn us deep. Keenan Allen, we just couldn't tackle him. Like we realistically could not tackle him.
Lewis got beat a couple times though. I just want to say that. Like people ignore that, but Lewis got beat. He just didn't get. They just didn't connect.
And that last play of the first half against the Kansas City Chiefs, Tariq ran in without being.
That was all tackling. That was all.
that was Orlando Scandrick making that business.
That was Orlando Scandrick, man. Yeah.
Hey, can I give you an?
What you say? Hello.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
He gone.
Damn.
Man,
he's on mute.
Well, we're gonna move on to the next call then. We're gonna see what's going on. That was abrupt.
Well, real silent.
409, who this?
This Angel.
What up, Angel? What you got for the show? Quickly.
Oh man. Well, so I'm kind of like with the national media, man. I feel like they don't really put a lot of research into like either side when they're kind of like predicting our schedule and the outcome.
Of course not.
I feel like, with the Cowboys, it's kind of like that they still kind of ride on that 2015 hell, the 2013 defense, and just kind of call them trash and not really paying attention to. They didn't pay attention to the last two, 3 games. The defense played. They were with offenses or the other teams. They kind of hyped the other teams up. Fail to mention their downfalls. Kind of how them predicting like the New York Giants, the Super Bowl champions. So I'm just kind of looking at that. And I'm just looking at I'm just listening to y'all. And I'm feeling optimistic about the defense and offense. Different packages they can run now with Dez and Witten not really demanding the ball or demanding to be in the game. I feel like we can do different packages that we can have without a tight end being on the field. And then defensively, I feel great about the defense, from the depth, the talent, how they've been stockpiling draft picks. Teams like the Eagles and other teams that build their defenses. They have a lot of guys with premium picks that even are sitting on the bench. You look at Nick Barnett was a first round pick that it took a while from health.
All right, bro, I'm gonna have to stop you, dog. Appreciate you, but listen though, fam. I just want to tell you before I hang up on you. Let me pause this. I just want to let you know it's June and July. Never listen to the mainstream media in June and July. All right, bro.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My man. Thanks for the call. Keep on watching.
Keep on watching, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Keep on watching. We're gonna get them in. We're gonna get them out. And it's the last call for the night. Because we got day job tomorrow. 919. Who this?
Dwayne from North Raleigh, North Carolina.
90 seconds, Dwayne. What's cracking like?
I just want to know what y'all think about Randy Gregory coming back.
We excited. Keep going. I love it. Keep going.
I'm really excited about that. That was my thing, man. I was just wondering what y'all thought about him, and then their new guy we just drafted this year. The number 1 draft we used it in the draft this year. What y'all think about that guy?
Boy, you got 76 more seconds. Keep going.
Keep going. Keep rolling.
That's all I got to say.
My man.
This brother been waiting for 90.
That man waited all this time to say, "Hey man, I'm excited about Randy Gregory."
Great question, man.
He was basically saying how do we feel about the additions on defense, whether it be Randy and Van Der Esch and Dorrance, and like just the taking what we did last year and adding young guys to it.
I mean, if you look at Randy as a red shirt or sort of like a pseudo draft pick, because we really haven't gotten to see a full season with him yet. If you look at him like that, and you look at the addition of LVE with that on this defense that was already ranked 8 in the league, you can't say we got worse. I think we got better at corner. We're definitely okay at safety. Who knows what we do with Earl Thomas. If we actually bring Earl Thomas in, I think he causes more confusion than he does anything else, because you have guys behind him right now like Woods and Heath, who I think deserve a shot to play or at least see what they are first, with Chris Richard at that. Yeah, I'm excited too, man. I feel great about LVE. I think with the way you see Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright and Malcolm Smith used, having a guy like LVE who can move like that is crucial. And then Randy Gregory is Randy Gregory. So yeah, it's great.
My thing is with Randy Gregory, and I'm gonna look at him as like a rookie almost. If he can give me 5 or 6 sacks, I'm not looking for the double digit. If he can just give me that production, I'm happy.
Everybody just needs to understand, man. Randy is a combination of natural gifts. He's not really polished yet. So let's not think that he's Vic Beasley or Von Miller. He's gonna come out and get us all those sacks. He gets sacks because his arm's so damn long the offense can't get hands on him, or he just bursts off the edge. So if he just outruns somebody, he doesn't really have this nuance that Joey Bosa has or something like that. So give him time to learn the game, give him time to get acclimated and all that. But the last call, go ahead.
I will say he does have something what's called a bend, B-E-N-D, and that is his ability to bend his torso, and get around the offensive line without getting touched. And I mean, Brian Broaddus, I love Brian Broaddus. I don't know how y'all feel about him, but he said he's had one of the best bends that he's ever seen as a player. Haley even confirmed that too. So, and just think, man, there's a lot of players that the Dallas Cowboys have necessarily given up on, or just didn't give them another contract. They didn't release Rolando McClain. They just didn't re-sign him. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that the Cowboys just have stopped dealing with. But for whatever reason, they have hung, they have hung in there and stood tight with my boy Randy. Some they didn't even do it with Ryan Russell. Remember Ryan Russell? They drafted him back in the day. They had him one whole year and gave up on him. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel that they're gonna get him.
You got guys like McClain who didn't really have a passion for football, and then you have guys like Hardy who just was a hothead. But the difference between those guys, and the reason I think we held on to Randy Gregory is, one, his addiction was to marijuana. He had that coming in. That was kind of on his scouting report anyway. And then beyond that, his Wonderlic score. He's a hell of a smart player. So him being as smart as he is and as talented and the upside that he has, they figure if we can really get this guy to I think him sitting down actually helped his career, because if we can get this guy to get hungry and see what he's actually walking away from with playing around with weed and so on, I think it's a wake-up call for him. So I don't think we'll have many problems out of him. I honestly believe in the change that he's exhibiting right now, because he just had a baby. And as you know, I'm having one. Law, you just had one 2 years ago though. But those of you who are parents out here understand, no matter how much of a hothead you are, and I used to be one, you kind of clean yourself up when you know you got kids relying on you. So I hope that's a good leverage point for him.
I got 4. My wife said we can have one more if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. So I'm trying to hold it until then.
That's all I want 5, man. I want a whole damn basketball.
I got 4 and I'm holding. I need a Super Bowl, baby, man. I'm gonna end up with 6 if we win it again.
Oh wow.
So 817, you got 69 seconds. Let's run it. Who it is?
Ooh, that's Fort Worth.
Who?
Jason.
Okay, Jason, what you got for the show?
Come on, Jason.
Man, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Rico Gathers, man. Are we going to put him in because I see him and I just drool
Man, fuck Rico Gaddis.
All I hear, I mean, it can't be that hard. I played a little pee wee football.
It can't Pee Wee. Look, it ain't that hard. Don't make me hang up on you, man.
Is he talking about the National Football League or is he talking about the National Fantasy Football League?
Man, Rico Gathers. I mean, blocking or not.
Let me just put this incredibly simple for you. Dak Prescott may throw the ball 18 to 22 times a game. Zeke gonna get the ball a lot. Tavon gonna get the ball a lot. Rod Smith probably get about 8 carries or so. That boy gonna have to block. He ain't blocking right now. The kid the tight end that we just drafted, Dalton Schultz, can block his ass off.
Yes, he can.
Jeff Swaim is a better blocker than Rico. Jarwin is a better blocker than Rico. So sure, Rico gives us something in the passing game, but one thing Cowboy fans don't like is being predictable. I don't know how that works, but being predictable. And if Rico on the field, they're gonna look at him and go, man, he ain't blocking nobody. They about to throw the ball.
Yeah.
This is what I would say. The worst thing for Rico Gathers is for one of those other tight ends to learn to be really good on special teams. Because if one of those other tight ends becomes like a special teams, like somewhat of a standout, or even makes a special team squad, then I would probably say that Rico Gathers is. I'm not going to say he's not going to make the team, but I would say it's going to be very, very hard. Very, very, very hard. If one of those guys like a Dalton learned, if he can be on a wedge or on a kickoff routine, it's going to be almost impossible because, like you said, Voch, Rico's skill set. If you guys remember, every touchdown highlight that you think of Rico Gathers are balls going over his head and him catching the ball in the end zone. Those are not passes thrown by Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Those none of those passes were thrown by Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Do I think he can adapt? Yeah, I can. But like you say, Voch, I don't think the opportunity is going to fit him to do that. I just don't think it's going to be there.
Same argument that you guys have for that we have for Lance Lenore, Dez, and so on.
Dez, Brian, I was about to say it.
Rico is best suited on a team that's not going to require him to do as much. He needs to play for a team like San Diego, where you just want a tweener type tight end that, or a team that can just hide him. We're not the team for him because we're a run first team. So we need
Green Bay.
Green Bay. He can play for Green Bay. He can play for the Raiders. He can play for teams like he can play for teams like that. But he where they're not going to ask him to block. He can probably even play for Seattle. And take that Jimmy Graham role. I think he's like Martellus Bennett. He's going to be a good player in this league. I think if he wants to play. But I don't think it's going to be for us.
Yeah, and it's also going to depend on how hung up he is about this transition. If the Cowboys don't keep him, because a lot of players, man, they get all hung up on not being on that first team, and they go to the next team, and they just don't matriculate. So I think a lot of his maturity, because he took a chance coming to the NFL. We took a chance because I definitely think in the NBA, he probably, I don't know if he could have been a starter, but he could have been on somebody's squad, getting some rebounds. So he did take a chance. So let's see how he adapts, whatever that happens. But in this summer, and in this offseason, but the Cowboys are definitely going to give him an opportunity to showcase his talents because it's make or break it season for him. But then, like I said, if the Cowboys can find a way to stash one of these tight ends on the practice squad, which I don't think you can, man, because they know with Schultz, you're not going to put Schultz on there, and with the what's the kid from Arkansas, Jarwin. I'm not from Jarwin. You know what he can do. You have a bunch of guys. The only thing about the Cowboys is exactly. These guys won't make it past cuts. Like they're not going to make it on the cut. So it's like if you put them on the practice squad, know that you're putting on the practice squad to lose them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the Cowboys are going to take that chance with something. I mean, if this was a year where we had a guy like a Romo or a quarterback who could put it out there a little bit better, then maybe so. But I agree with you what you're saying. But hey, my last point before I get out of here, I promise. Man, somebody made a point about Jordan Lewis on that play against Devontae Parker against Green Bay Packers, right? I want to jump in here and say this. Jordan Lewis played a hell of a job on the first play, but you know what you didn't equate for? You didn't equate for Aaron Rodgers looking at Parker and saying, I'm going to do the exact same play. We're just going to go to the other side. That final touchdown was more on Aaron Rodgers in his greatness than it was on Jordan Lewis.
But on the second play too, Jordan Lewis, they played him off too. They played him off man coverage. That good old.
Yes, I mean it was like how much. It's a perfect pass thrown to somewhere where only the quarterback and the receiver knowing the ball, and they just did the same play, and you made the play. Who's the thing? Jordan Lewis in his mind is not thinking they're coming right back at you, and that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers did.
Should have played press
That's
twice.
what a Hall of Fame quarterback can do.
Yeah. But hey, man, tell them where they can find you at, man, where they can locate you and all this good stuff before you run.
Man, I'll be at Dallas Cowboys Scouting, man, on Facebook. Hey, man, y'all are the kings of YouTube, man. So I ain't trying to. Y'all. That is y'all kingdom. You know what I'm saying? That is y'all kingdom, and I just want to be a person I can come kick it with y'all. But man, I'm over here on Facebook, Dallas Cowboys Scouting. I'll be at training camp 3 times a week. I'm starting July 26th. So make sure you tune in. And shoot, man, I appreciate y'all for having us on, man. Having me on, I appreciate it.
10-4, man. Appreciate you, man. Salute. Thank you for joining me into the nation, man.
West Coast.
Yeah. West Coast. All day, every day, even twice on Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So anything else, Voch?
Man, we got somebody on the phone. 509, you got 10 seconds.
Hey, it's me again, Raul. I never got the chance to see it. Hey, I appreciate everything you guys do. I love it, man. You guys make my day go by a lot faster at work, man. Keep it up. I respect everything you guys do, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man. That was worth it, man. That man coming back.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's always welcome.
We mess with Raul.
I'm shutting this phone down, dog. That's
we gonna end it on that, yeah.
That's a record, man. That's a record. Hey, man, look, we held it down for y'all, man. We told you we was gonna get all y'all in. We got everybody in.
Yes, indeed. And I don't think nobody in this world can do 2 hours and how long we been going on? 2 hours.
Y'all embrace that long ass grind.
Long grind. That let you know that, man, nobody can say, man, these guys don't love the Cowboys.
My podcast.
We love these Cowboys. Hey, AKOYE, man, tell them everything where they can find you at, where they can locate you at, man. PayPal, Patreon.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Tupac,
yeah,
Biggie, what up?
I had to fight the Patreon gods all week, but they're working on my original Patreon, which is patreon.com/AKOYE Media. But in the interim, I actually have a substitute until we merge these accounts, and that would be patreon.com/AKOYE. I want you guys to actually go out and give me some input in regards to what type of rewards you want for the Patreon account, because what I'm doing right now at $1, you can access Patreon only type content. So I'll load, maybe highlight videos, which I don't really do on my AKOYE page, but they're a little quicker and easier for me to do. I'll load them up out there on Patreon, and you guys will get that for $1. But right now, I am running a contest where, not just a contest, but it's an ongoing thing where if you do donate $10 for whatever reason and upload a 15 to 30 second clip, just saying prove it with the film, or AKOYE Media, prove it with the film, I'll add you guys to my intros, because you guys know I look for unique ways to introduce all the content that I put up. So, for $10 in a video, you guys can definitely be in my intros moving forward with a call out and a credit for that. So, just join in with us. Like, Patreon is not us begging for donations. It's more so us asking you guys to aid us in the growth of our movement. So, if you guys like what we do, we love what we do. So help us keep doing it and doing it full time. So, you can find me there, and y'all already know you can find me on AKOYE Media on YouTube and Twitter.
Yes, indeed, man. That's good, man. And in your chat box, cause we was going live on your YouTube page too as well. Who's some of the all-stars that was in there before we run too as well on your page?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Let me give you guys some shout outs. Like Chris Rayner, I'm actually going to start doing some boxing soon, but shout out to Chris Rayner, Game Changer, April Stanton, always showing love, Steve Mack 23, April on point with it always, Buddy Johnson. I'm going to come with some Cam Kelly video for sure. My man Sushi, A17 with the classic name, classic avatars. There's a lot of guys out here, man, that actually show love. This is my first live video, but I'm definitely going to be doing these every week with Law. And then we'll try to find a creative way to add new pieces as the season comes on, because I am a big fantasy player. So I'll let you guys in on how I pick my teams and how I play fantasy football, because I made $5,000 on daily fantasy last year, so I think I'm okay at it. Not not great, but I'm good.
$5,000. 5 bands is a lot of money. All right,
Hey.
so I'm talking about no other. I'm talking my brother from the same home skillet. Voch, man. Tell them where they can find all your good information, film sessions, and stuff like that too as well.
Chat box say Law said a total of 17 words tonight, but it is what it is. Oh, it's your boy Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I break down film on my channel as well. AKOYE, I call him the myth buster. You know what I mean? He'll take some narrative that y'all out here running with, and he'll fix that. And you know, I really do appreciate that level of film breakdown. I'm just more so of the technique guy, you know, what we getting from this player. So if you want to go to my channel, I just dropped the Randy Gregory film session. I pulled a little bit of Nebraska. I pulled a little bit of Cowboys Randy. So go on over there and check that thing out. Follow me on Twitter as well, Patreon, everything, man. The Patreon is very important, man. Just like the homie said, man, it's not begging. It's just we selling the service. We just give it away for free. But if you want to tip us, hey man, we here. But mine is Voch Lombardi. Everything VOCHLOMBARDI. Also, the Voch's Voice podcast. I got like seven pods up there. So go on over there and check that out. It's on all your typical podcast streaming services. AKOYE, thanks for rumbling with me tonight. Law, thanks for having me on. Salute.
Yes, indeed, man. It's always a pleasure, man, for everybody tuning in to the nation. Hey, you guys know I try to go live like 95 every day. I know I didn't say a lot of words because I had a lot to say earlier today, but I let these guys talk because they're really the best. You know, I'm just sitting back just absorbing all this stuff in, these good nutrients.
Lord of Godfather.
Yes. No. You guys it, man. I'm just sitting here just enjoying the moment. I love the Cowboys. I don't like them at all. I love them. I bleed silver and blue. You guys know. Shout out to my guy Wiggle Bells with the black hands. My guy also Antonio Gonzalez. Miss Jackie was in here earlier today. I know a lot of people went to bed, but this is the thing. When you love the Cowboys like we do, and you get to sit here for the entire 2.5 hours, that's meaning everything to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, Hulk Rage, smash the like button. And also, if you want to really join into everything that we do, hit the notification. Be a part of the notification squad. Every time I go live, I'll always give a shout out to the first person that's in the mix. They are the ones that's winning this thing. So also, too, as well, I have a podcast. Just type in LAW Nation, and you will see either my face or that Law Nation logo. And don't forget about the website. We own that website too as well. Voch, he's also putting your stuff out there. That's DDallasProspect.com. That's my guy DDP. We try to go live too as well on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. Hey, be there, be square. We try to do this thing one way or another. That's all the time I have for today. I really thank everybody for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's jam out to some of this music, y'all. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Let's jam out to it,
Let me
man.
put my glasses on.
Yeah. That beat finna drop now. What? Yeah.
Gregory back, and then the step in the back. He about to get all the sacks, and we get back in the back, and we gon' bring in the back. D-Lo on the die, he on the other side, turning the crop in the bed, pushing the tap off the bridge.
The crazy thing is, like, that's not far-fetched from being a hit.
100%. 100%.